that Coach talked about in the pregame. He said this was a chance for people to come out and watch, and we need some people to get here to come out and watch a couple of players that are nationally ranked in the top two at their position. These guys are being scouted by the likes, well, Jermaine Gresham. How about LSU? How about Iowa State, Miami, Florida, Missouri, Nebraska, Oklahoma State, and Southern California. The college choices for Gerald McCoy include LSU, Miami, Nebraska, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Southern Cal, Tennessee, and Virginia Tech. I did get word today that he may have verbally committed to the University of Oklahoma. Oh. Now, that's just a rumor, conjecture, whatever you want to say, but that's great news for the University of Oklahoma if he did do that. Quite a player, 6'4", 305 pounds, and he runs a 4.9 according to Rivals.com, but I also heard another thing, that he ran a 4.8.4 for one of the colleges up here just the other day. So the young man can wheel for 300 pounds.
Where have you been hanging out?
I've
Where
been
are you getting all this
where
information?
I can, get some information and use on you guys because y'all have been embarrassing me all year long. But anyway, Joe McCoy's supposed to be a fine Division I prospect for top of his position, as well as Jermaine Gresham. And Jermaine Gresham, we all know about him, 6'7", 230 pounds, 4'6", and sometimes I think he runs faster than he looks. 4'6" there, or 4.6 the 40 speed for Jermaine Gresham, the Ardmore great wide receiver. He's being touted as one of the top players in the nation at tight end, although we've never seen him actually line up at that
never
position.
actually tried it.
I love the way that works. Anyway, so a couple of great athletes, and you say a couple, and then you got to look at both sidelines, and you see so many great athletes tonight. This is going to be a good ball game just for that, and we'll have to see how it pans out because you look at Ardmore and you think these guys are really, really strong. They're coming off 5 big wins. The biggest win probably in Ardmore history in some time was at with Lawton MacArthur the other night, just because Lawton had not lost in 22 district ball games, just because the Tigers hadn't beaten them since, 99? I mean, you're talking 6 years. We're going to go down for just another salon coin toss now.
Number 21, Emmanuel Rodriguez. Number 25.
Have the normal niceties going on. Here we go.
Randy Taylor will be your umpire. Toss in just a minute. Things. We have a pen item. I need to talk to one of you guys, so please don't make me you guys down. Come up to me as quickly as you can. I usually say I need a white captain or a red captain, so come help me out with that. Number one most important duty is captain's team leadership, and that's keeping your players under control. Great sportsmanship, okay, gentlemen? Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys helping me out with it. All right, flip my $50. You call tails, it was heads. You won the coin toss, elected to defer. Please right where you at.
So there you have it. The Tigers did win the coin toss. They have elected to defer. So the Ardmore, it looks like, probably will kick. We'll see which side of the field they have in just a moment. They have Ardmore lining up on the north side of the field. They have Southeast, the Spartans lining up on the south side of the field, the scoreboard side. Southeast will receive. The Tigers will kick off from north to south, and that's how we'll start the game.
All right, David, thank you so much. Again, David Polk on the sideline. Just another salon brings you the coin toss each and every ball game, and we appreciate that. The Tigers, again, won. They deferred, and now they'll kick left or right here at Noble Stadium to get underway with Southeast here, and that is coming up here not too long. The Ardmore Tigers will be kicking off, and we get all kinds of things going on tonight. Going to be a great night for football. Secondhand Sports brings you the kickoff, and we're going to do that after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to Ardmore Tiger Football. We're live from Noble Stadium. Coming up, the kick, Noble Stadium. The football game tonight, the Ardmore Tigers taking on the Southeast Spartans. Ought to be a great football game and a great contest for us as well. We like the close ones like last week. They were close for a minute, then whoa. That's what somebody said. Hey, was that a pretty close game? And I said, nope. I said 2 series, it was close, and the rest of it was just Ardmore Tigers. So
that's true.
That's the way we like them. And that's kind of what happened. The people that, Billy knows this. I've got some great friends at Lawton MacArthur. I mean, I've got people that,
You're pretty popular
I'm
there.
pretty popular over there. And to a person, they're pretty impressed with the Ardmore Tigers, let me tell you that. And normally when the Tigers play them close, it's because they made a bunch of mistakes. And this time it's, they're impressed with the Ardmore Tigers. So you got to like that part of the ball game. The Ardmore Tigers 5-0. They come in here taking on a 4-1 team that Coach did not dismiss in any regard. In the early show there with Coach Lloyd, didn't dismiss the Southeast Spartans at all. Said they're a tough team. Here come the Ardmore Tigers out on the field through the tunnel. And he said they need to have a big night tonight just like last weekend. Of course, last weekend we had to split it up in two, so this weekend let's have one big game on a Friday night. Again, Mike Laird along with Billy Wallace and Brandon Martin. David Polk is on the sideline tonight. You guys, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Check one.
Sure.
Check two. David Polk, are you ready?
I am ready to play. Let's do it.
He's ready to play. Put the pads on, man. It's cold down there where you are, is it not?
Yes, it is. It's a little chilly, but once the players get here, we'll warm up fine.
I saw the temperature is about 52 or something like that. It's supposed to be 41 before the end of the evening or something.
Well, I brought enough jackets and clothing that if I've got to come up, I'll stay warm.
Okay. All right. There, David Polk, Storrs and Sudbury sideline report, getting it done tonight on the sideline with the Ardmore Tigers. We're going to get the crowd involved here. You guys cheer up a little bit. Finally, the crowd's filling in. I told you they'd be here late.
Late arriving crowd, fashionably late crowd.
Hey, if you don't want to come watch this team play, you don't like high school football. I'll tell you that. Because they, number one, they're exciting. Number two, you don't know what they're about to do. There's a lot of programs, you know what they're going to do every single down.
Right.
Ardmore Tigers are not one of those teams.
No, it can come from any amount of variables. It could be a run left or run right with any of three running backs. It could be a deep ball to Dante Miller over the middle to Gresham or a little underneath with Brian Booker, or Jimenez can just do whatever he wants to do. I mean, just from all angles at all times. This Ardmore team is fun to watch, and it's just, how do you stop it?
Well, and then they grinded out with Marquise Booker and also DeJuan Miles with some good carries last week, and then you bring in Stubblefield,
Right.
who can go the distance on any carry. So, man, they got the whole package.
And then you top it off with a defense that doesn't just tackle, they hit. And they hit hard, and they bring the pain with every time they go to the ball. And it's just it's a well-rounded, well-balanced team that's going to be very hard to stop anytime this season.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I know we got to wait a little bit longer, but I can't wait. You forgot Brian Booker. Think about that.
No, I said underneath.
Oh, you
Brian
did?
Booker,
Underneath? Okay. I was thinking about the end around the other night.
Oh, yeah, that was
It was
nice.
a big play for the Tigers so far offensively. They have not proven to be dysfunctional at any position, I believe,
Well, and the constant thing to me is Lionel Jimenez. I mean, he's played just almost perfect all season long. Very few mistakes on his part. The wind bothered him a little bit early last week, but he adjusted to that, and he's such a great team leader out there in addition to his athletic ability, just such a great leader on the field for Ardmore.
And you can't have a worse start than Jimenez had last week. Ardmore turned the ball over 2 times. The first 2 times they touched the ball, turnover, kept a level head, kept Ardmore in the game, and they came back obviously with a solid 38-18 victory. It all feeds down from him and his leadership.
Kelby Price lines it up at the, now it's blown off the tee. So
Well, this
he's gonna
game
have
will
to do
just
that
not
again.
get started.
I was going to say, we just can't do this.
I think Ardmore's just stall until everybody gets in here and sits down.
Let's make sure everybody's in their seat and got their cocoa or whatever.
Knock the ball off the tee, whatever you have to do.
You talk about Jimenez, you know what? I think we ought to, every game from now on, remind everybody that he should be an all-stater, even at this early juncture. Phil Tabor and I were talking about that today. He should be an all-stater. Do you think?
I know a lot of opposition would also vote with that.
Here's the
promise you
second-hand
that.
sports kick, and it gets down the field there, and not going to be much of a return right there. And that's the man, Alvin Palmer, right there. And no, that's the other guy, Anderson. I'm sorry. Anderson on the return. Not much running room. He did make it back to the 25-yard line. So that's where the Southeast Spartans will start with the football.
Mike, if you remember, Ardmore had some kick coverage problems early against Ada. Boy, they have shored that up. They've done a great job in their kick coverage and their punt coverage. Of course, they don't punt a whole lot.
I was gonna say, how many times do you
when
get a
they
chance to
do,
see
they
that?
cover it well, and special teams has really improved for the Tigers.
All right, they'll set him down in a offset look backfield, and that's going to
Ball's
be
loose.
Edward
Fumble.
Ruckner and a fumble right up front. Ardmore looks like they have recovered it. A couple of Tigers down there on it. And, Ellis Knight giving the official signal right there. He says they have it. Marquise Booker says they have it. Now the officials say they have it. It's the Tiger football inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. High stepping and coming off there. Obviously, DeJuan Miles recovered the fumble.
Somebody tried. One of the red jersey guys, the Tigers, tried to pick it up and run with it and couldn't pick it up, but there were just too many red jerseys back there. As we've seen all year, the Tigers have more guys in the backfield than the quarterback, the tailback, the fullback combined. Just you get that much penetration, you get a fumble back there, the odds are pretty good.
There's certainly a swarm, are they not? Just underway here, the Tigers have already recovered a fumble and have the ball 1st and 10. Ball setting at the 20-yard line. Pitch back this time. That's Jimmy Colbert to the right side across the 20 up to the 15-yard line. He'll be brought down right there just shy of the 15-yard line, giving 5 yards on the carry and a second down now on 5.
Nice block downfield. Keith Todd, we talked about his blocking abilities last week, and he was leading the path that time for Colbert as he got to the right side. Good surge again up front for the Tiger offensive line. Keith Todd leading the way.
Second down and 5 at the 15. Dante Miller wide to the left. Jermaine sets in the slot there. Brian Booker wide out to the right. Colbert, the blown back, he'll get it. Left side, maybe 2 yards on the carry. Might get to the 14 is where they'll spot it. So about a yard on the carry to bring up third down and 4.
When you look at Gerald McCoy, the All-Stater who's going to be for Southeast, you think 305 pounds, okay, he's just going to be a run stopper, just clog some lanes. Well, that time, Stuart Hoffman went forward to try and make a quick speed block on him. McCoy just got out of the way, threw him aside, and slipped down the line and made the tackle to hold the Ardmore to a 1-yard gain. He's outstanding player.
Jimenez from the gun this time. He'll roll to his left. Looks for a man in the corner. That's going to be Miller. Miller catches it. He slides out of bounds inside the 5 of the 4-yard line. First and goal for the Ardmore Tigers. Nice toss right there, and Miller just runs under it and runs out of bounds.
Dante just found a soft spot, got behind the cornerback in front of the safety. Perfect touch pass again for Lionel Jimenez.
Gotta like that when they can do that with that big man. I tell you what, you watch number 97, you're talking about McCoy. That time, sitting there watching him, he doesn't get down to the stance real quick. He surveys the backfield, and he kind of looks like he's going to eat somebody up. And then he moves so quick. He's quick as a cat, big fella. Well, the officials, I think that just the voice, I think that's Robert Dalton out there, isn't it, David?
Yes, it is. And
Okay.
they just had a sideline warning for Ardmore backing them up. I mean, we're at the 3-yard line, and we're backing them up off the field. So
We're excited.
Yep.
A coach's favorite warning, the sideline warning.
I-backs behind Jimenez. First and goal from the 5. Actually, the 4 is where they are. He's standing on the 5. Handed off to the left side. That is in for Dwan Miles. A touchdown for the Tigers.
And credit Brian Booker, tight end on the left side. Ardmore running to the strong side of the formation. Booker just shoved D'Angelo Stephanie out of the way. Cut back in the crease, touchdown Tigers.
Hey, DeJuan gets the fumble recovery. He's so excited. He's pumped up. They put him out there, and he finds the crease. And 6 for the Tigers just that quick. But there's still 10-19 left to play in this first quarter.
Well,
And
that's,
the Ardmore Tigers
that's
up
the worst
6-0.
thing could have happened for Southeast is getting a hole early against the Tigers. They needed to come out and do well early and, try to get things going their way, and that just backfired on them.
Austin Williams to hold. Kelby Price is the kicker. Good snap. The kick is up, and it is looking good. So the Ardmore Tigers take a 7-0 lead here with 10:19 remaining in the first quarter. We are back after this. You're listening to Tiger Football on Kick'em Country. Noble Stadium all lit up and happy now. The Ardmore Tigers jump on the Southeast Spartans quickly as they get into the end zone. And 7-0 lead now after a turnover. Kelby Price lines it up now at the 40 after the PAT. He'll kick it left or right here. And we got Anderson back deep there for the Southeast Spartans. And they kick it to the right side. And that's going to be Rod Smith. And Smith's going to spin, and he'll be tackled inside the 15, around the 12 right there. So not getting much effort right there. We're going to check it out, the Easy Shop scoring drive. Brandon Martin.
Ardmore got the ball in the Southeast 20 thanks to a fumble on the first play of the game for the Spartans. It was recovered by DeJuan Miles. It took the Tigers 4 plays to cover the 20 yards, capped off by a DeJuan Miles 4-yard touchdown run. It took 1:26, and Ardmore's already up 7-0 with 10:13 left in the first.
All right, and they'll bring them back to the line of scrimmage after that second-hand sports kickoff. And the Spartans spread them out. They got 4 wide to the left here.
Fumble.
Fumble again.
Ardmore's
The
got it again.
Tigers got
Oh,
the
my
football, and that's on the 10-yard line. They'll have it first and goal inside the 10.
Holy cow. What a way to start the ballgame for Southeast. Just a disaster in this first quarter. Tigers got a really short field to work with again.
Oh boy. Gonna have some short drives to talk about tonight, Brandon. If this doesn't change. 7-0, 10:07 remaining. Tigers again have it first and goal at the 10. They mark it right at the 10-yard line. So that is where they'll have it. Jimenez to set him down with 2 wide to the right. Miller wide to the right. Gresham in the slot there. Jimmy Colbert, the lone back behind him. Jimenez, quick pitch to the right side. That's Colbert trying to get the corner. He does, and inside the 10 right there as he gets it to about the 9. Inside the 9 there, a yard and a half on the carry for Colbert.
Again, you look at Gerald McCoy. He's all the way at the sideline. He pursued all the way down the line of scrimmage and was kind of involved in the tackle. Didn't make the tackle, but he was over there in pursuit. You just don't see defensive tackles get over there that quickly.
As good as he is, you know going in that it's going to be tough sledding trying to go up the middle with your off-tackle runs. But if he can cover sideline to sideline like that, that's going to be pretty tough to run the ball throughout the night.
Jimenez straightens him up right there as he is under center again. Lone back behind him is Colbert. Looked like they tried the option. Jimenez cuts it up quickly, and he may get a yard on the carry. Going to be not much yardage right there.
Good read, Emmanuel Rodriguez. Listed as a linebacker here for Southeast. He saw that play, knew exactly what he wanted to do, got in there and got Jimenez by the ankles.
Good play by Alvin Palmer, too, who took the pitch man and denied that for Jimenez. We'll hear about Palmer later on tonight. If Southeast can ever hold on to the ball when they get on offense, he's a good running back.
He never touches the ball. That's good news for the Tigers, huh? Colbert behind him. Jimenez sets him down too wide to the right there, and he's going to throw back against the grain. That's going to be Brian Booker. Touchdown. Tigers score.
Boy, that is a difficult play. That's a good-looking play for the Tigers. They roll him right. He turns around, really throws against his body, back against the grain, wide open. Perfect pass again for Lionel Jimenez.
Well, that makes it 13-0, 8:42. We've not played 4 minutes of football yet.
Somebody's down for Southeast. Looks like
look at that.
Looks like Keith Nixon still on the turf. Tigers taking a break there. Everybody taking a knee and getting a little break in.
That was a very good play design, like you mentioned, Billy. Ardmore had everybody lined up on the outside, had 3 wide receivers out to the right side. Jimenez rolls to his right and then plants Booker on the left side of the formation, just kind of cuts in, gets the ball, gets a great kick-out block, and just easy sailing for the end zone. That's just a well-designed play all around and well executed, too.
David Polk in the Storton Sudbury sideline report.
And it was a great block there by Dante Miller coming back across. He just lit somebody up as they were going into the end zone, and it was good to see that happen, too. He stayed in the play and went for it.
And Kilby Price, again, will try to kick it through the uprights here. Austin Williams will hold for him to get that done. Here's the snap, a little high, but he gets it set. Kick is up, and it is going to be no good this time. 13-0 at 8:42. We'll be back here. The Ardmore Tigers are leading the Spartans from Southeast on Kickham Country. Tigers up 13-0 here with 8:42 remaining in the first quarter. Less than 4 minutes of football played, and already getting things done on the Tigers side. 2 turnovers deep in their Southeast territory, and the Ardmore Tigers have benefited quickly. And Kelby Price will line it up here at the 40, and he will kick it from left to right. And that is Anderson in the very back spot. He has only returned it one time. Here's the second-hand sports kick, and it is again to the left side to Rod Smith. Smith going to streak up the field at the 25-yard line. He's going to be hit hard at the 23 and 27, that is, and he will be brought down there. First down for Southeast.
The Spartans can run, guys. They have got some talent out there. They have gotten off to a horrible start, have not really had a chance to get untracked in their offensive unit, but they have got some guys that can run.
Bo Talley, Jermaine Stubblefield there on the stop for the Tigers. Bring up a 1st and 10 here for the Spartans. They hand it off to the left side. That's going to be Palmer, and not much running room there as he's going to be corralled down by Marquise Booker. A lot of Tigers help move the direction for him, but Marquise puts the hands on him and locks down, and going to wind up losing maybe a yard on the carry.
Good containment on the right side of the defense for the Tigers. Just strung out the play, forced the ball carrier to turn it back inside, and there's your middle linebacker, Marquise Booker, with a solid tackle for a 1-yard loss.
Hey, Southeast still has the ball.
This seems like last week,
That's
doesn't
right.
it? Only we didn't do it in our own end 2 consecutive times.
And we didn't have a great defensive stand after the first fumble.
Yes, we did.
That's right.
Oh, jumping around, but no flags. Anyway, they'll let the back carry the ball. Cut up Tony Anderson there, one of the return backs from earlier. Cuts the ball right up through the 30 and keeps his legs turning to the 35-yard line. So give him about 6 yards on the carry. Of 7, it'll bring second down now, or that is third down now, and about 3.
Brought down by Kevin Andrews, who also can run. Defensive end for the Tigers have some speed, too. Booker and Andrews as quick as anybody in the state also at the defensive end position.
I don't know what the number is by Kevin that they wrote in there. I thought maybe he was changing jerseys tonight or something, but that's him, big 65 right there on the right side. Edward Ruckner is the senior quarterback, and he's lining them all up right there, and he'll hand it off to Anderson again. Anderson this time breaks into the open at the 40-yard line to the 45, and he shoestring tackle right there, and a good stop on the football there for the Ardmore Tigers. The stopper going to be Justin Fields.
Justin just reached out and got a shoestring as he went by because it looked like he was going to get some big yardage. Tony Anderson is really quick, and if he breaks that tackle in the backfield, he can make you pay for it. But Fields with an excellent tackle in the open field.
So that'll be a 1st and 10 for the Southeast Spartans, and they'll put a man in motion. They'll fake him the ball and give the ball up the middle, and the Tigers have seen that play for a couple of weeks now and stop it pretty quickly. Front line right there, Marquise Booker in there the late.
This is a variation of the Lawton Mack offense. Always somebody in motion in the backfield when the ball snapped, never quite sure where it's going. I'm not sure they're going to be able to execute it as well as Lawton does.
I don't know if they do as much misdirection as Lawton MacArthur does, but they do a lot of that moving around. This time the quarterback, Edward Ruckner, going to keep it on his own. He keeps the high steps going at the 48-yard line and get himself about 4 extra yards on the carry down to the 45 in Tiger territory now, and third down at about 3.
Looked like he's going to be tackled for a loss. Edward Ruckner, pretty well-built young man, too. Solid quarterback. Broke a tackle in the backfield. Picks up a pretty good game.
Ruckner sets him down again, a man in motion. This
Somebody
time a lot of people in motion, and that's going to back him up about 5 yards there. Motion, the white hat.
Southeast, their own worst enemies right now because they have moved the ball some when they have not had an error on the play, a fumble or a penalty. But, man, you're going to take on the number 1 team in the States. You can't
Give
work
him a
on
couple
yourself, can you?
Couple of balls to chance it out right at the first.
There's
Well,
another
they got whistles everywhere. I don't see a flag yet.
Yep.
David Polk, what's going on down there?
You have movement on the right side of the line. On the outside, I think one of the wide receivers may have leaned forward, so they're going to back him up 5 more.
So it'll be third down 14 now. Thornton Sudbury Family Dentistry bringing you the sideline reports this year. 5 minutes, 58 seconds to play in the first quarter. 13-0. The Tigers, a couple of opportunities with turnovers to score quickly here tonight. Ruckner looking way down the field, and man, he's got a rocket. He'll throw it down there, and tangled arms and everything. The ball flies loose there, and the incompletion will make it 4th down and 13 or 14 to go.
Good coverage back there for the Tigers. Ellis Knight, I think it might have hit Ellis in the helmet, in the back of the head, as he had not turned to find the football, but he had good coverage on his man. Everybody covered up that time.
Ellis has been practicing beach volleyball, and no, I'm kidding.
Was he play backwards?
Yeah, there you go. You talk about an athlete. Look at that guy. Would you throw the ball long on him up in the air, up in the staircase like that? I wouldn't.
No.
He's going to get to play too much center field. Stephanie is the kicker. He'll kick it end over end. It's going to hit at the 30. Take an Ardmore bounce straight up in the air, and it'll be down right there by Jacob Arthur. And that, it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Tigers. This is the first time the Tigers have to start in their end of the field. At the 30-yard line, Tigers will have it 1st and 10.
Well, the defense there had given up a few yards, and really Southeast just killing themselves. A couple of consecutive penalties there took them out of a situation where they could make it, had 3rd and long. Tried to throw the long pass down the middle. Tigers were able to regroup a little bit on defense to hold them, and still got pretty good field position at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10. Ooh, Tigers. Jimenez sets them down. In motion is Gresham. He gets the football at the 30. Ooh, jukes him at the 35-yard line. Jermaine, ball comes loose there. It's going to be a pileup and to see who got it right here. He might have been down before it came in.
No. That time he was working on a juke on the guy in front of him, and the big Gerald McCoy came down and just lit him up from the backside. He never saw him coming, and the ball came out. That's the instance of number 1 in the state getting the best of number 2 in the state.
That is the first down and 10 after the little 2-yard fumble there. So a great fumble. That's the way they'll print it in the paper anyway. Right. Jermaine Gresham picking up about 11 or 12 yards on that carry. Jimenez from the gun this time. Lone back beside him. Booker wide to the right here. Gresham in the slot and Miller wide out. Fakes it to Colbert, keeps it on his own. Lionel going to get it with his legs this time. Doing a great job keeping his legs going right there against the Emmanuel Rodriguez. Rodriguez, a pretty good athlete. We talked about him earlier, and he rode him down, but Lionel still able to pick up 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
I think another good play for your senior quarterback. Jimenez, the snap was a little bit high for him through the sink of the play out. He was going to turn around and hand it to Colbert, and really it just messed things up, so he just took it out, put his shoulder down, took it forward, and got a big pickup on 1st down. 2nd and 6 now for the Tigers.
He's riding a belly play. 2nd down, 6 at the 47-yard line. I-backs behind Jimenez. He looks both ways. Right back, quick step drop there to Miller, and that'll be a 1st down. Dante corralled as quick as he catches it, but a nice job up to the 47 at the other end of the football field. So in Southeast Territory, 1st down, Tigers.
We talked about Lionel's arm strength. There he is on the right hash mark, throws it all the way across the field. A bullet to Dante Miller, who was pretty well covered over there, but I think Lionel knew where he was going with the football, just looked at Dante the entire time and then threw a frozen rope through there.
Miller sets wide to the right here with Gresham in the slot. Booker wide out to the left side. Colbert beside Lionel, and we've got a whistle and
chain issues.
What's wrong with the chain? Well, they're not properly set, I guess.
They're trying to get the chain marker set.
Say again, David.
But getting the chain marker set in case the chains get thrown down, they'll know right where to put them back.
Okay. David Polk, sideline reporter extraordinaire, brought to you by Storts & Sudbury. Swing it out here quickly to Jermaine like this little screen pass across the 40 down to the 37-yard line, and that looks like it's pretty close to the 1st down marker right there. Nice quick hitting little pass play from Jimenez to Gresham.
Dixon and Rodriguez on the coverage. Again, down to the 30.
What are y'all
sorry,
laughing
Will,
about?
I was going to defer to my cohort here, and he was blank. He didn't have anything to say, so I don't either.
Brandon
so
doesn't
back
have
to
anything
you,
to say,
yeah.
or David?
Wow, I've got plenty to
I was
say.
going to say,
Brandon.
David never ran out of anything to say.
I'm sure would have been checking to see if that was a 1st down if I was southeast over there.
Yeah, you're right. Jimenez sets him down here with the I-backs behind him. He'll hand it to the deep back. That's Colbert. Colbert dances outside, back up, cuts up straight up field, and he's going to be where they could look at those markers again, David, across the 30-yard line up to around the 28.
2 offensive linemen downfield with Colbert, too. You had Quentin Grant, Stu Hoffman downfield about 12 yards there, still blocking. Not just staying at the line of scrimmage, moving it on down with their tailback.
Tyler Parrish was taking the big guy on down the field, too, and blocked him off. He didn't get into the tackle because of it.
Well, they should have spotted the ball where I did because that'd be 2 yards farther down the field. They spotted at the 38, so 2nd down and 2. Long 2 to go for Jimenez and the Tigers. Gresham wide to the right. Miller wide to the left. I-backs behind him. Whoop, Lionel in trouble. That time he just squatted. He knew he was in trouble and thought, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to go down right here.
5 Spartans in the backfield. Have not seen that happen very often this year for the Tigers. Protection just broke down. It's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Protection broke down there. Looked almost like a delayed blitz. Like they were trying to do some twists and turns, and all of a sudden just the jailhouse break. And Jimenez did the smart thing. Didn't try to force the ball anywhere. Just took his medicine, went down.
Well, and the
down
smartest
to
thing he did was he got down before 97. Gerald McCoy got there because he was en route.
They get the little stunt going right there, and exactly is what happened is just it caught it. That's the first time Lionel's seen that this year probably, you know. Wide out is Gresham this side. Jimenez from the gun. Throws it across the middle there. Hits Booker at the 25-yard line. He gets down to the 23. It'll be a 1st down for the Tigers right there. Great look for the Tigers right there. Hitting junior Brian Booker across the middle right there while everybody else is watching Gresham.
Great play there by Booker, great catch, but that was all Jimenez. He was staring down 2 Spartans in dead sprint right at him, and he stood tall and made a good solid pass right to Booker.
And give Booker credit knowing where the first down stick was, too. He knew he wasn't there. After he made the catch, he made every effort to fall forward and picked up the first down.
Jimenez has set him down to the eye backs. I think that was Nixon on the stop right there, wasn't it? Defensively, he's been all over the place. Colbert left side, not much room right there. You know, that front, they talk a lot about the big kid, McCoy, but that front line is pretty good defensively for the Southeast Spartans.
They've got some size. Of course, white uniforms always make you look thicker, seems like, but they have some sizable guys up there on the front. Somebody else hurt.
That's why I never wear white after Labor Day. Or whatever that is.
I'd like to know how big number 99 is. There was a thing in the Oklahoman the other day about him, and I think they talked about him a little bit. And he may weigh as much as McCoy. He's just a shorter version.
I think he's a 300-pounder. He's a double XL or triple or something like that. He's a big fella.
McCoy reminds me of like Jamal Brown when he was at Lawton MacArthur.
Yeah.
He was a guy you noticed when you walked in the stadium.
You went,
they're warming up. You're going, whoa,
guy?
look at 97.
Ooh, a little quick shuttle pass right there. Nice look there. And, they're not going to like it, though. They throw a flag right there. DeJuan Miles, the carrier. And a nice job by the quick hands of Jimenez right there. But probably got a hold down there, David.
I'm not really sure. It came from the white hat, so it may very well be that. It may be that there was a little bit of a late hit, too. I'm not sure what he's going to call.
Lionel got popped pretty
Yes,
good
he
by
did.
99. Emilio Rodriguez that David was just talking about his size. Ask Lionel about it right now, as he got a pretty good lick.
Personal foul.
Personal
Ooh,
foul.
a pair of them.
So it was a late hit on the Spartans.
I thought Lionel took a pretty good shot there as he got down. I think there was a little extracurricular activity you'll see on the film when they show the playback after Lionel was on the ground that may have caused that penalty to be thrown.
First time 8 o'clock Tuesday, by the way. The big playback. Man, this is going to be
That crowd,
half the
Mike's,
distance and get it down to, what are they talking
that
about?
crowd Mike's ultra sensitive tonight. I think they're playing with dolls down there.
There were actually 2 separate fouls, 2 separate individuals, so that those are both dead balls. So they're going to mark one off, and then they'll mark the second off. So it'll be first and goal at the 4-yard line.
So they go half the distance and half the distance from that? Is that the way they mark that off?
Well, yes, you mark the first one half the distance, and the second half the distance, as you say. So that's the way that would be.
So we have the ball first and goal at the 4-yard line. So the Tigers once again threatening strong here.
This is where it's difficult for the official, though, to go across the field and explain to the coach it's 13 down with 1:12 in the first half, how you got 2 of those fouls, and that's what we're doing right now.
Jermaine Stubblefield in there in the lone back position behind Jimenez.
Tigers had 2 of them last week. They had a
did.
30-yard penalty.
Yes, they did.
I'm thinking if I was the defense and Stubblefield comes on the field, I'm watching him. Because usually when he comes on, he carries the ball and has a big run right out of the box. So, well, what do we got going on now?
Now Southeast wants a timeout.
They're going to call a timeout so they can talk to the white hat, find out about these penalties and stuff. Meanwhile, the Tigers have a first and goal at the 4. We'll take a timeout, too. We're back here. The Ardmore Tigers lead the Spartans from Southeast 13-0 on Kickham Country. And him. DeJuan Miles dotting the I, and this time he'll pull it out. He'll go to his left. He can get the corner if he can just get there. No, touchdown! Touchdown! Tigers! Lionel Jimenez.
Watch that one on the replay.
Lionel goes up top there and gets it done with the greatest of ease. That flying young man on the flying trapeze or whatever.
He scares me, though. I wish he
telling
wouldn't
you.
fly around
Yeah.
like that. He is
Gets
a
in the zone,
valuable
though.
commodity on this team.
So that score makes it 19-0 with 1:05 to play here, first quarter. Kelby Price stepping it off. He'll be kicking the PAT as Austin Williams holds.
How much courage does it take knowing you got 4 guys in white that are ready to nail you at the goal line? You just try to jump over them.
Keith Todd is the deep snap. The Tigers, they'll set it on the tee, and here it is. It's up. And this time it looks like it's good from here, and it is. So the Ardmore Tigers take a 20-0 lead, 1 minute and 5 seconds before the end of the first quarter of play. And we will take a timeout too. Again, Ardmore 20, Southeast nothing. You're listening to Tiger Football on 97.7 Kickham Country. pregame, the Ardmore Tigers lead it 20-0 as the second-hand sports kick about to come from the 40. Left to right here is Kelby Price. After the PAT, will line it up. Anderson back deep for the Southeast Spartans. So we will have it with 1:05 to go here. The Tigers prepare to kick. And Kelby Price gets the second-hand sports kick underway. It's high in the air, come down to the right side. Again, that's Rod Smith, and he will run it right up the middle. Oh, hit hard, and the ball pops loose. Boy, howdy, these guys have the least stickiest hands in the stadium tonight. They have not turned it over, however. It doesn't look like anyway. Nobody's excited about it down there, I'll tell you that. A lot of kids just standing around looking at it. Now the white hat says Southeast football. We'll check with the Easy Shop scoring drive.
After 2 touchdown drives, it only took 7 plays combined. Ardmore got the ball at their own 30 and covered the 70 yards in 10 plays in 4 minutes and 31 seconds. Capped off by a 4-yard touchdown run on a keeper by Lionel Jimenez, where he hurdled 2 Southeast Spartans at the goal line to make it what is now 20-0. With 55 seconds left here in the first quarter, Southeast has the ball at their own 20.
Ruckner will set him down. He has a man in motion. That's going to be a flag flying right there because it looked like a couple of guys were in motion right there. We'll see what that means. Right too. Ruckner keeps it on his own. It's a little bitty yardage.
About the 25-yard line.
The mistakes
Flag on the play.
really killing the Spartans.
What do you think, David?
I think they're going to call an illegal shift there. Is what they're going to get. They'll be 5 yards back up. It'll be, my goodness. 1st and 15. Folks, I didn't do that. If you're listening, it wasn't me.
What's bad is I turned my microphone off. I just picked it up ambient noise.
Well, if you're going to be that loud, you're going to have to turn everybody's off.
Scare the children
I can
listening back
sneeze
home.
at night at my house, and Michaela runs through. I was, what's happening?
Somebody driving might have hit a tree or something.
Goodness. First down in 15.
And you're at fault.
Now that we're all cleared up, we're ready to go. Here's the handoff up the middle. Not much running room at all there for the Tigers. First down 15 turns into second down and about 14.
And, you know, the folks that aren't here at the stadium hear the score 20-0. They think, oh, it's another Oklahoma City school and Ardmore's putting it on them. These guys are good. I'm telling you, they have all the potential in the world to be good. They have just killed themselves in the first quarter with mistakes. 2 fumbles and too many penalties.
Right, they're 4-1, and that lets you know that they're a good ball club. With the one loss to Altus, out there in Altus, which was 45-7.
It was a runaway. But
same song
not
and dance
really.
like tonight.
They turned over.
Turnovers, shooting themselves in the foot. Just too many mistakes to keep up with the really good teams.
I think they let Altus run back a couple of kicks.
Yeah.
Then they turned the ball over 3 or 4 times. In motion there, Ruckner. And they will, well, flags are going to fly. Did we run out of time? That's what happened. But why is the flag on the field?
That's a good question.
There was too much time. That the flag was actually thrown before the clock ran out. So they're going to call too much time. They'll set it, then they'll move it to the other end of the field.
All right, thanks, David. The Storton Sudbury sideline report here. At the end of 1 quarter of play, the Ardmore Tigers lead it. It's the Tigers 20, the Spartans nothing. You're listening to Tiger Football on 97.7. Miller doing a good job running the route, closing quickly there. And an incomplete pass will bring up 3rd down now and 7.
Keith Nixon was in coverage that time. Good coverage, and that ball actually thrown a little bit behind Dante. But had a lot of zest on it, didn't he?
Zest.
Lionel can bring it. I'm telling you. Does he pitch?
See what you've
Is
done?
he a pitcher on the baseball team?
That might be something to explore once the spring rolls around, but when he sets that back foot down and plants, you know it's going somewhere in a hurry.
It's a fastball.
3rd down 7 now. Puts a man in motion. That's Stubblefield. Gets it, throws it out there. Jermaine Gresham picks it up off the turf, and he'll have it. Not much running room there, though. Gets back to the original line, the line of scrimmage, that is. So bring up a 4th down and 7 from there.
Good quickness. Southeast all over that play. Took a little bit long to develop, and they knew when they saw 2 go out there. They've seen that play before. 4 guys out there in defense, and among them, 97, Gerald McCoy. He is just all over the field.
He's everywhere.
He's really quick, isn't he? I mean, I'm surprised with his quickness, even though I read earlier this week that he ran could run a 4.85 40. You still look at him and you go, no way. He
if
runs
you
a
were
5
from
flat, if anything.
out of state, out of the country, and you came to this game, and you would notice 97, you would notice 2 for Ardmore also.
Sure.
Not to mention Marquise Booker and some other guys that I think are, big-time players also, but those 2 guys really stand out.
McCoy is so good, it's amazing he hasn't turned up at Jinx yet.
I think Jermaine has a lawsuit coming against Rivals.com because of the picture that they put in there. It's pretty.
Yeah, that's not the most flattering.
Pretty
in the world.
rough-looking picture right there for Jermaine. But anyway, I was looking at that site this week and just checking. After talking to Coach Lloyd, I just want to check out those two particular players, and McCoy, the real deal. 4th down now, and the Tigers are going to go for it. Jimenez across the middle right there.
Perfect.
Great throw.
Look at
and
that.
that is going to be a touchdown. Extra effort is what you call it. Get into the zone if you're close. And he did it right there. Nice job by the Ardmore Tigers. And Austin Williams is the receiver right there. And I tell you what, when you got a guy coming in a secondary position like that, you catch the ball across the middle and you fight hard because you're going to get few opportunities to be a yard and a half, 2 yards from the end zone.
Exactly
you give
right.
Austin Williams the award right there.
And first, give him a pat on the back for catching that ball in heavy traffic, and then he just threw it in reverse, punched his man into the end zone.
Now he's got to work and hold the PAT. Does a good job of that. Kelby Price, the kicker, and that thing is going to be up, and they'll call it good. We will too. 27-0. The Ardmore Tigers lead it with 10:37 left to go. First half. We're back after this on 97.7 Kick 'em Country. The Ardmore Tigers lead at 27-0, and Kelby line it up on the 40-yard line, kick it right to left here to get things started. Anderson back deep here for the Southeast Spartans. Southeast Spartans, Tony Anderson back deep with a 27-0 deficit trying to race right here. The Spartans have not been very Spartan-esque this evening.
Is that a word?
Spartan-esque? It is now.
We'll have to look that up.
Here's the kick, the second-hand sports kick. It's going to go to Anderson this time at the 15-yard line to the 20, 25 there, and he's got a rider, a hitchhiker there at the 25, and he'll ride him to the 30-yard line before he brings him down. And a good job there in cover for the Ardmore Tigers. Stephen Lee, one of the tacklers right there. The guy who rode him was Stephen Lee. Robbie Gordon also up there on in pursuit on the special teams. 1st and 10 at the 30. Ruckner will lead him up. We'll do that easy shop scoring drive right after this. Ruckner has, his own version. That's the messed upest looking fun bunch I've ever seen. They can't find a place to get set. Now here they are. 4 wide to the right and a man in motion. That way he'll get the carry, and he's going to be stopped well short of the line of scrimmage. Nice defensive effort that time. That's Brian Booker on the stop, also in there helping him, Robbie Gordon. And the Tigers going to drop him for about a 2.5-2-yard loss, let's call it. And now we'll get to that easy shop scoring drive with Brandon Martin.
On 4th and 8 from the Southeast 20, Lionel Jimenez connected with Austin Williams for a touchdown. 4 plays, 22 yards in a minute and 14 seconds. Ardmore now leads 27-0 with 10 minutes left here in the first half. And Southeast just continues to make mistake after mistake, whether it's a penalty, a fumble. They're not sustaining any sort of drive to try and get back in this ball game.
Well, they get all those guys out there in the corner like that, and the theory of it is you're going to run that way and you're going to give it to the motion man going that way. So what's their goal? Their first goal is to make sure the defensive end is crashed in. The guy doesn't even block. He comes off, doesn't even block Brian Booker that time. Booker's speed gets him across the line before you got a chance. And there's little things like that you got to get done in a football game, especially when you're playing somebody as tough as the Ardmore Tigers.
And they're not even taking care of the most the smallest details of football. Holding on to the ball, putting both hands on the ball when you're about to get contact. I mean, every time they're getting hit, the ball is loose.
So that's our kick against them tonight anyway. The Ardmore Tigers, last week, they've been slowly getting some respect finally with the big boys, the daily Oklahoman. Those guys who, they go to college to do that? Probably. Anyway, so they finally get a little bit of respect.
You never know up there.
That's true. You get a little respect finally.
Well, they moved him up to number 2. Everybody else in the state says this is the best team.
Well, they watch them. How many times do they come down and watch them? They don't. They came the first ball game here, or at Ada.
Their high school reporter must have got a bad taco when he was down there last time or something.
Anyway, we treat them nice and feed them, and then they can't get it. Second down and 11. That's the end of it. Somebody kick this soapbox real quick so we can.
But you've got to wonder when every other Associated Press reporter in the state says, look, Ardmore's really good. They are the number 1 team, no doubt about it. And up until last week, Ardmore was ranked number 3 by the Daily Oklahoman. Tulsa, Washington suffers their 3rd defeat of the year, and Ardmore finally leapfrogs them to number 2.
Third down, 12. Ooh, a lot of movement right there, no flags. Ooh, and there's a lot of movement in the backfield.
And he fumbled.
The Cardinal jerseys on right there. Trying to run for his life, loses the football, gets it back. How many people were in pursuit right there? I tell you one guy that I see right there is Chris Odom, and you got to like the way Chris Odom plays this game. He's kind of an undersized lineman, but he plays his heart out every ball game and every down, and it's fun to watch him when he gets loose like that. And Brian Booker turns it all back inside, and then the rest of the big beefaloes up front get to him. So. Again, this is Stephanie, the kicker, and it's going to be a high spiral and come down to Robbie Gordon. Ooh, they didn't give him any room right there, and the flag will fly out. Robbie catches it on the run, and the other good running back, whom we've yet to really mention on offense, is Alvin Palmer making the stop right there.
Robbie Gordon has done a great job all year fielding punts. We talked about it last week with that wind coming from the east and I guess the west the following day over at Lawton, and he did a great job catching those punts over there because you can't let him hit the turf. And again, right there, he knew he was going to get hammered. Goes ahead and makes the catch.
So it'll be 1st and 10 right there at the 45, 43, 44-yard line.
Is this clock
I
running?
I just got to count it on.
What's wrong with our clock?
8:49.
We should be halftime by now, shouldn't we?
You bet.
Let's go down to
27-0.
Coach Peters, slip him a $5 bill, get that clock running.
Where's the guy with the 20? Take it in there. Hand it to him.
There you go.
Somebody trying to give me a $20 bill in the hallway, and I don't know why.
You should have just taken it.
Oh, hook and ladder.
Hook and ladder at the 45, up to the 50 now. And Miller is loose at the 30, down to the 25-yard line. He'll be tackled from behind at the 24. But the Tigers putting a little razzle with their dazzle right here and earning themselves a big pickup there from the 44-yard line. They're going to get clear down to the, 24-yard line here. So.
That's the second play you need to mark on your playback show watch list. The first was Jimenez's trapeze act to score earlier.
And Austin Williams throws it in reverse, creating space with his backside. The busiest guy in the stadium, the most pressure is going to be on Bill Allen to get all these things on tape because you've had bloopers on one side and you've had some great plays for the Tigers on the other side.
And then the audio has been a blooper pretty
You got highlights and you got bloopers. And we're not even halftime.
Not even, we're 8 minutes away from halftime. It seems like we've got a whole quarter to play. Get a timeout. The Tigers are going to take a timeout here. 1st and 10. We'll take one, too. It's the Ardmore Tigers 27, the Southeast Spartans nothing. You're listening to Tiger Football 97.7. It's Kick 'em Country. Going to get about a 5-yard carry out of that up to about the 20-yard line, and the Tigers will have it just shy of the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6 to go.
I don't know what to say, guys. Southeast is not this bad a football team. They had just played horribly in this first half. Ardmore, and you can't do that with the Tigers. They're too good for that stuff. The one time they did get the ball at their own end of the field, they took it down 70 yards to score.
Jimenez is going to lead him up the line of scrimmage again. He'll have offset backfield behind him, and Twins out to the left. 2nd down, 7 at the 21. Quick pitch to the left side. That's Stubblefield. Jermaine has it at the 10, 15-yard line to the 10, that is. Inside the 10, keeps his legs going there down to about the 7-yard line is where they'll spot it. And, man, that's every time Jermaine touches the football, it seems like he goes.
Well, and again, out front again, Keith Todd with 2 blocks that time. Actually had 2 blocks to get Stubblefield free on the corner.
Down to the 7-yard line.
So that's the spot of the football right there as you hear Phil Summers on the announce here. The Tiger first down, 27-0. They have it first and goal from just inside the 7-yard line. Stubblefield in the backfield.
We've got to give the PA repairman a game ball, too, when this thing's over with.
He's done a great job. Jimenez gives it off. That's Miles. Up the middle. Touchdown, Tigers. DeJuan Miles is going to score from the 7. So DeJuan Miles picks up a 7-yard touchdown run there right up the throat of the Southeast defense and makes it 33-0 with 6:57 to play here in the first half.
Just straight ahead, great blocking up front. Not a whole lot you can say about that. And DeJuan Miles runs with a lot of steam. Keeps his shoulders square, head down. He's a good-sized kid as a 6', 210 senior. You get him and Booker in the backfield, and that's a load, or him and Keith Todd. You can go to that big package.
Austin Williams will be the holder here. And once again, Kelby to kick it, and it's up and floating, and it's good. The Ardmore Tigers take a 34-0 lead here. Still 6:57 to play, first half. And we are back. You're listening to Tiger Football on 97.7 Kick 'em Country. Stadium, 6:57 to play in the first half. The Tigers score 34-0 now as the Tigers lead it. They'll kick right to left here on the Secondhand Sports Kick. It's going to be, as David mentioned to us in the break, they didn't have a penalty against Southeast, so Kelby Price will be kicking the ball from the 45 on their end of the field. In other words, he is very near, very close to the Southeast Spartan, kicking it from their end. So this will be a big plus for the Secondhand Sports
Southeast
Kick.
has to have more penalty yards than offensive yards. They have to.
Anderson is back deep. Whether or not that matters at this juncture, because he'll probably kick this thing pretty good north wind out there still tonight. No, it's laying down. I haven't been out since the sun went down. Wind seems to have laid, looking at Old Glory down there. Sound like we're doing a baseball game. I'm just thinking. Price lines it up at the 45. He'll kick. It is a high kick, and they'll come up to get it. And that's a good choice of the kick right there, because you give them a chance to fumble it back to you the way it's been going. They don't do that. They get it at the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there for the Spartans. And we can take a look at that Easy Shop scoring drive. Brandon?
Ardmore covers 56 yards in only 4 plays, and in a minute 52 seconds, capped off by a 7-yard run by DeJuan Miles, his second touchdown of the night. Ardmore now leads 34-0, and this isn't a mistake, with 6:54 left in the second quarter.
Ruckner is going to set him down. He gets them all their version of the fun bunch wide out to the right here. And now the man in motion. He'll get the handoff there. Again, the great defensive play by the Ardmore Tigers. Always loose, though, as he spins out of one tackler and reverses his field, but he'll be dragged down from behind. And that some speed there for the Tigers, and the tackler is going to be 2-2, right?
Yes.
That's Jared Fields.
Again, Ardmore stringing out the play perfectly, turned him back around, and then I think Fields was the guy that clamped him off and made him go the other way, and then he chased him down in the backfield.
Forced Tony Anderson to run about 40 yards to only net 1. That was pretty impressive, this show of pursuit there by the Tiger defense.
They get the connection with the defensive end that time, but they don't get him blocked. So that's the bad thing. This time they're just going to cut it up off the motion man, and not much running room there. Maybe a yard and a half on the carry. Going to bring up 3rd down and probably 8 to go.
I'm not so sure I wouldn't put 97 at tailback. I think he could play it with his feet. McCoy is certainly a good defensive player. Doesn't play on the offensive unit, but I think I'd find a place for him. Might be a little bit oversized
300-pound
for a
tailback
tailback.
in high school.
Hey, he'd get some attention, wouldn't he?
Who would stop him?
That's exactly right, David. Nobody would want to. What about a secondary guy after he breaks through the line? Oop, I'm quitting. This time Ruckner's just going to keep it, and not much to do with it right there. He'll be tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Good job by the defense that time. The Ardmore defense. How many times I just realized I've said that about every down. So doing a great job right there. Brian Booker, the defensive end on this side, cutting it, making it all cut back up inside right there, and then the swarm gets to you. Fourth down and about, they say 5, but that's wrong. Fourth down at a long way here. Fourth down at least 7 from the 25-yard line. The punter there is going to get a good foot into it, and this time it'll fall plenty short of Robbie Gordon back to cover, so they'll down it. That's Edward Ruckner, the quarterback there, downing it at the 48-yard line, 47 let's call it, as they spot it across the way there, and that will be the Tigers football first down now at the 47 in Southeast Territory.
And most of the Tiger possessions have started in Southeast Territory. I remember the 170-yarder. I don't know if they had another besides that. Brandon is going to look at his stat sheet.
Ardmore has started on their own 30 and own 44. The other 4 possessions all started in Southeast Territory at the 20, 10, 22, and this one at the Southeast 48.
First down and 10. Jimenez from the gun.
That's
This
Ellis
time-
Knight.
Oh, it is Ellis. He goes left side, across the 40 to the 35, 30, 25, 20. Speed will get you every time. 10, 5, and inside the 5 there. They'll spot it at the 5-yard line. Ellis Knight comes on and gives him a different dimension at the QB position, and he will take it the length of this half of the field down to the 5-yard line. So give him about a 40-yard run on that particular carry.
So your Southeast, you see the starters out of the ball game. You say, okay, now it's time for the second teamers, and all of a sudden here comes Ellis Knight. He fakes the handoff and just takes off in a blaze for a 45-yard gain.
Kind of looking like Vince Young there. I hate to say that on this particular day.
I was going
but,
to say, what are you talking about?
reminds you a little bit of him, not quite as big as Young, but pretty talented.
I don't think Ellis fumbles near as often as
That's
Vince
what I've
does.
been willing Vince to have fumbleitis tomorrow.
Fumbles McScramble, they call him.
Lone back in the backfield is Jimmy Colbert, and he'll hand it off to him left side. Jimmy going to get about 2-3 yards right there. I'll spot it at the 2. We'll see what the officials do. Pretty nice run right there, deep in that end of the field.
And good sportsmanship for Gerald McCoy. Tackles him, helps him up. You like to see that in his high school career. Got a great attitude on the field.
So the Tigers, with 3:50 left to go in the half here, threatening 34-0 already, and the Tigers looking to score here. Second down, goal to go from the 2. Ellis from the gun this time. Knight calls for it. Gets the snap, goes to the right, called all the way, and he'll go to the 1-yard line. Nice job there.
They're going to give him a touchdown.
Touchdown Tigers.
And
This guy over here.
Yeah, great job, Jermaine, pointing to the line judge over here was signaling touchdown. He was trying to get everybody else's attention to point at him. So he says it's a touchdown.
I'll go with him. Touchdown Tigers. Ellis that time took it to the right. Looked like he was stopped about the 1-foot line. Nice job there for the Tigers.
Don't you wish we could have like red-shirted Ellis for next year maybe?
Oh, goodness.
Like to see him hang around and get to run this offense. Jimenez is too good.
And he's not from Ada, so he can't be a fifth-year senior.
Price, we're going to have a flag right there. Some flinching on the offensive line. David, is that what you got?
The other element, Ellis, I mean, if offensive side of the ball and they need something to happen, I mean, it's quite a luxury to be able to bring in your backup quarterback and set up a whole new style of offense and be very successful with it, because Ellis, all year long when he's come in, he gets on the field, they score. They just keep moving the ball.
Kobe Price to try it now. He'll kick it from the 15-yard line now. And it is up, and it is good. 41-0. 3:29 left to go in the first half. The Ardmore Tigers lead the Southeast Spartans. You're listening to Tiger Football on Kickham Country. David Polk is on the sideline. David, get the young man's name. Let's talk to him.
Well, I tell you what, there's a new tradition they've started at Ardmore, and that's they're doing push-ups for every point. And this young man's name's Miguel, and you weren't really thinking you were going to do 41 push-ups tonight, right?
No, really, I pretty much knew about that, because Ardmore's #1 right now in the state in 5A, so it's great.
You were just hoping they'd run up some points. A little tired, but you gave it the old college try here. You did great.
I got more, but not now.
We'll do it again. Thanks, Miguel.
Nothing like catching a guy to talk as quick as you can. Miguel doing a good job down there. They hold him up on a board, and then he does the push-ups of whatever the latest score is. And that time he got to 33 before he really struggled on his last number.
They're going to have to get a guy for each quarter or something, you know. They're going to have to divide it up.
Second in sports, the kickoff right there, and the Spartans now have it 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. 3:22 left on the clock. Is it? Every time I look over there, it stopped. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me or what. But in motion, they'll hand it inside this time. Not getting a whole lot of chance to see this fella run the football, but doing a good job right there across the left, and that's Alvin Palmer, that is, and he's going to get enough for about, a 13-yard carry. It'll be a first down for the Spartans.
We talked earlier about how good field position Ardmore's been enjoying all night, basically living on the southeast side of the field. Southeast is starting their 7th possession tonight. Their average starting field position, their own 24-yard line.
Wow. 1st and 10 at the 44. And we heard a lot about Palmer all week, but we haven't seen a lot from Palmer tonight. He hasn't carried the ball much. This time they'll give it to the scat back, Tony Anderson. Tony Anderson breaks up through the middle and now back outside. Ellis Knight's going to run him down, but not before he gets a first down inside the 30. About the 25 is where he's forced out of bounds over there by Ellis Knight. Anderson, the ball carrier, and that deep into Tiger territory now to the 25 first down.
They force you to make good tackles, because if they get past that tackler in the backfield there when penetration can't wrap them up, in the open field they are deadly. And I like the fact they're playing hard out there. It's 41-0, but they're out there playing hard.
We see now why they've been focusing on Tony Anderson giving the ball so much. In the open field, he really excels because he had some acceleration to get around the corner and get a huge game out of that play.
1st and 10. Ball right at the 25 here. Ruckner sets him down, puts the man in motion again. That's Anderson. Ooh, Ruckner is going to be rushed there. Kevin Andrews, first man to him, and Kevin is going to take him down. He's got some help there with Booker coming on late, but the two bookends there getting it done right there. Defensive end, probably the best two in the state right there on any one team. And they stall him clear back to the, where'd they spot the football here? The 30-yard line. So 2nd down and 15 to go.
Kevin Andrews had a great game, or a couple of games over Lawton last week, as he threw King for several big losses and really took them out of their game plan.
Kevin just another one of those Tiger great players. This time Palmer not going to have much running room as he's going to be slung to the surface right there. Again, Andrews in pursuit right there, and the cornerback coming up in pursuit. Dwan Miles also in there for the Tigers. Jared Fields, the fellow on the first part of the tackle. Nice job, 3rd down now, and a long way to go, about 16 to go. 2 minutes and 2 seconds left here. 3rd down and that long from the 31. Ruckner from the gun this time. Man still in motion. Calls for it. Looks down the field. He's thrown it into the zone right there. Robbie Gordon all the way man for man right with him.
Nice defensive coverage.
Knocking it away there is Robbie Gordon. The intended receiver on the play was Kenny Smith, and Gordon stride for stride, no problem right there. Nice defensive effort.
That ball was well thrown, and Robbie just timed his jump perfectly too. Sometimes in high school you see guys jump too early or too late, and that was perfect as he hit the ball at its highest peak. He slapped it away.
Yeah, didn't try to be the hero, didn't try to make the tough interception, just made sure the ball was not going to be caught, slapped it away, fell harmlessly to the ground. Now Southeast has 4th down and 15 or 16 from the 31.
Motion is Palmer. Ooh,
here
kind
comes
of
the
a
defensive
squib
end.
pass back there, and it's going to be Quickly, Ruckner falls on the football back near the 49-yard line. And so the Tigers do their end of the trick on the defensive side there and keep the Spartans out of the end zone and also get a pretty good field position after that play. They'll have the ball at the 49-yard line now, first down, still in Tiger territory. But the 49 is, how many yards is that away? Where are we at? Where's the first down marker? The first down.
The 15.
The 15-yard line. So that's better than punting it and getting it back, isn't it? Ellis Knight, the quarterback again there.
Oh, they're going to wait on the chain gang to get down there.
Those guys still haven't heard. Yeah. Hey, wait a minute.
They're missing a great game.
Wait a minute. That's
Those guys are talking about where they wanted to go to dinner later tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
And the front chain man had to yank him to get him to come down there.
Oh, man. So now they're set. They're ready now. Minute 39 left in the first half here. 41-0. And the Tigers will give it off here. This is Stubblefield again, and he is going to get tackled up there by the speedster from Southeast, Alvin Palmer.
That's a great open field tackle by Palmer. There are not many people can run down Jermaine Stubblefield, but he ran into another running back by trade in Alvin Palmer, and he was able to bring him down on the sideline right there by the Tiger bench.
Well, and again, I emphasize for the folks that maybe aren't here, that are listening, checking the score, watch the replay. Because these guys can run. I'm telling you, they got some athletes. They've just made so many mistakes, and they haven't played well together. But I'm telling you, these guys are as good as anybody that you're going to see. In the right system, they would be just deadly.
Knight calls for it. Stubblefield beside him, fakes to him. Ellis goes left side. Oh, he's going to be tackled up right there. Ruckner, one of the early guys in there. Also, Epea, the senior defensive lineman in there as well for the Southeast Spartans. And they can run. Every one of them can run to the football.
Yeah, and this is what I get for bragging on the second team offense right now. That's 2 straight plays with bad communication at the handoff and not too good blocking. And now Ardmore has 3rd and 10 from their own 49 as time runs out here in the first half, leading 41-0.
Just really hard to keep your focus, though, when you jump up this big in the first half.
Clock ticking at 25 as Ellis calls for it from the gun. He's looking downfield to throw, and he's going to rifle it down there. Nice, tight spiral, and somebody will have to go get it. It's going to be intercepted down there. Great defensive effort there by Keith Nixon, and he will have the foot, or check that. That's not Keith Nixon. That's Tony Anderson with the interception. And that time, Ellis just let her rip and counted on Jermaine to go get it.
Jermaine turned into a defender there. He made a good tackle, made sure he bumped him out of bounds. He saw that the interception was imminent, just kicked him out of bounds. And I saw a high five for Jermaine, number 14, Tony Anderson. They patted each other. I like the sportsmanship over there. They doing a good job. Had a rough first half, but they're still.
You don't see a lot of sulking. They're handing the ball back to the official or anything. They're good, solid kids. Not trying to play anything dirty.
1st and 10 here for the Spartans. They send Palmer in motion, and Ruckner just ducks his head and tries to get what he can right there. Not going to get hardly anything. The clock ticking at 5 seconds here, and that'll be the end of the half. The Ardmore Tigers at halftime lead at 41-0. That's 41 for the Tigers, nothing for the Spartans. We're back here. The Mercy Memorial Health Center halftime show is on the way. You're listening to Tiger Football on Friday at 97.7 Kickham Country.
featuring solos, Cody Bowman on trumpet. The drum line will then invite several of the band members to join them in the percussion feature. Child's Play. The band will close their show with a tune called Pegasus, featuring Michael Watson on tuba, Kayla Alcar, and Cody Bowman on a trumpet duet, and J.T. Hazelton on a trombone solo. The band competed in Carnival Band Day last Saturday, where they brought home numerous awards, including Outstanding Percussion, Outstanding Color Guard, First Place in Parade, First Place in Field, and overall sweepstakes for Class 4A. Congratulations to the Pride of Ardmore. The band will also be hosting the Southern Oklahoma Marching Competition here at Noble Stadium tomorrow morning, beginning at 11 a.m. and running throughout the day. Come out and enjoy the day of marching and music. The band is under the direction of Miss Deborah Thompson and assisted by Aaron McPherson and Ryan Lowe. Drum major for the band is Carly Kemp. Drum major, is your band ready? You may take the field for your performance.
fourth here. And that's the way we'll get it started here in the second half. Whoop, Billy Wallace. I told you that I wanted to stand up the second half, so let's trade right now. Yeah.
I can't
Best
think
you
on
can
my
do.
feet. What am I going to do sitting down? I'm in real trouble.
The Ardmore Tigers will receive it to the left end of the field, except for there's going to be a little onside pooch kick there. It comes to the 40-yard line there, and the Tigers down it. And we got whistles blowing.
Good
Not a
job
lot of
over
knowing
there.
what's going on.
Steve Ross, head coach of the Ardmore Tiger golf team, came in earlier, wanted to pass along a score from the world of baseball. From the Bronx, the Yankees lead the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Orange County, 6-5 in the bottom game 3 of the American Legion Series. And they waved off the flag.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Ardmore Tigers. The ball will rest at the 7-yard line. Let's call it the 38-yard line there. I'm all discombobulated here. Long halftime. And come back and I'm out of the booth. So we appreciate Phil Summers. The talent there lies within. I'm telling you, Phil Summers has got a lot of sports talking ability. That's going to be not a lot of room right there for Jimmy Colbert as he gets maybe, half yard on the carry there.
You hate to see McCoy a little slow to get up there.
He got real slow, just now made it to his feet.
You certainly don't want to see that guy get hurt. He's got such a bright future ahead of him.
I just think if you were 6'4" and weighed 300, how hard it would be for you to get up anyway. I can tell you about the one end of it, the 6'4", I've got to stand on a couple of blocks. 1 foot blocks.
You got the weight?
I got the weight down. But it is 2nd down and 10 here for the Tigers. High backs behind him, and Jimenez sets him down. He'll hand it off to the deep back. That's Colbert again. And again, the Tigers not having much fun up there up front, moving the Southeast Spartans as they get about maybe a yard and a half on the carry there and bring up 3rd down. And it'll be a long 8 to go from there.
We have to work with our cheerleaders on throwing those footballs. They're throwing them end over end. I'm going to get somebody to work with them, get a spiral working. See, look at that.
I think
end
they
over
get
end.
more distance on them. Oh, that one made it clear to the front row. So
You better be sitting low if you want a football.
Jimenez in there from the gun this time. 3rd down and a long way, a long 7. Jimenez rolls out, fires down the field, hits Miller at the 45 at the other end. He spins inside of the 40 there, and the tackle still made, but a nice job by him. Keith Nixon on the tackle, and Dante Miller, the receiver there, gets the 1st down, and the Tigers will have it in Southeast Territory at the 40.
Dante does such a great job catching the ball in stride. Never breaks his stride to catch it. I had to walk the tightrope a little bit on the sideline. Thought he might have stepped out, but I guess he did a nice job. Got a few extra yards with it.
41-0 here, and we are just underway in the 3rd quarter. And the Tigers moving the chains again at the 40. Miller wide to the right with Gresham wide out to the left side. Ibacks behind him, and they counter back this way with Jimmy Colbert. Good block right there. Colbert slips past the 40 down to the 35-yard line. He'll be bumped out of bounds right there inside the 35, just inside, and that's going to be about a 5-yard gain there for Jimmy, and he'll get the Tigers to a 2nd down and 5 now.
And guys, I know this one is no longer in doubt, but this is what Ardmore does to you. A couple of bad plays early, and then they pull out of it with the reception by Dante Miller down the sideline. Now they got momentum back, and they're in the midst of a drive.
We saw that a lot last week when Ardmore would be pinned 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10. Jimenez would drop back and find his guy, whether it be Booker or Miller or Gresham, and get those key 1st downs. And those are the ones that will win you ball games when playoff time comes around.
Ibacks behind Jimenez again. Miller wide to the left top side this time, and they'll pitch it that way to Colbert. Colbert finds a gap, gets across the 30, down to the 25-yard line. He's at the 20, 15, and that he'll be down just inside the 15 there. Around the 13-yard line, he'll be drugged out of bounds. Once again, Keith Nixon, the tackler, and the
There's a couple
Tigers
of Spartans
move the
down.
chains. There are 1, 2. One of the guys down right there is going to be Alvin Palmer. Exactly.
Jimmy Colbert does such a great job for the Tigers. We don't talk about him enough. We talk about the speed guys and the Division I recruit type guys, but Jimmy Colbert has done a solid job all year. Has already been awarded the 5-star player of the game a few weeks ago, and just methodically is able to pick up some yards, rack up quite a few yards every week for the Tigers, no matter who they play. Are you in the parade there, Mike? You're just waving at everybody.
I'm waving at Jake Patterson. He's going to join us in the booth next year. We got Brandon Martin now, who is a connoisseur of fine Ardmore football, and Jake is, well, he's almost old enough to help us out, I believe. Second down and a short half yard here for Jimenez.
We've already got one old guy in the booth. We don't need another.
What do you heard?
Me.
Jimenez across the middle right there. Brian Booker catches it. Still got his feet at the 25, 20, 10, and he is pushed out of bounds there. So nice job there. You know, I've been wanting to see Brian Booker just catch it in open field like that and run with it, and that's a nice job right there. Big tight end for the Ardmore Tigers. Flex tight, whatever you want to call him. Doing a good job, Brian Booker.
And he's a guy this time next year, I think you're going to have a lot of guys down here watching. As these scouts that are here to see Gresham and McCoy, you can't help but notice 88. You can't help but notice 65 in red for the Tigers, Marquise Booker. I mean, a bunch of these kids.
So the Tigers line it up in the I-backs behind Jimenez here. 41-0 with 8:20 remaining on the clock in the third. Tigers have it 1st and 10. Ball at the 10. Just outside the 10, and we lost the handle on that there for a minute.
Keith Todd had an up-close and personal encounter with Big Gerald McCoy, and he sort of blocked him. I wouldn't call it, he got in the way, but Gerald got around him. Gerald's a little slow to get up. They met head on. Really, really big collision there in the middle of the field, but McCoy was able to get around the block and stuff Ardmore out for a 2-yard gain. But man, that was a collision and a half right there.
The Gerald McCoy is everything that we
The real
thought he
McCoy.
would be. Yeah,
He
he's
is.
the real deal.
I was
the real
wondering who'd be
McCoy.
the first to say that.
I can't believe we waited till the third quarter.
He can,
We're slow
we're
in our
slow
old
in
age.
our old age. Jimenez behind him, the I-backs, and he handed it to Jimmy Colbert. Oh, crushed right there, Jimmy Colbert. Had a stun on right there, McCoy leading that thing. And I'm telling you, that's quickness.
And Jimmy says, let's not run this
Let's
play again.
do this one.
Scratch that one.
Where's 97 at? Can we audible to the other side or something?
Not very often you see a defensive tackle make the tackle on a sweep, but he was all over that play.
Well, they get that stunt going, and, you know, that's one thing that's going to give teams fits this year. If these guys ever get where they can keep hold of the football offensively, they're going to be pretty good. Because it's hard to block them when they're stunting like that. And as quick as they are, too.
Well, the score doesn't reflect their athletic ability because they are some athletes. They just have had a lot of mistakes go against them.
Jimenez rolling out to his right now, looking down the field, finds his man. That's Booker. Nice catch on the play. He says he doesn't catch it. I thought you caught it up here, Brian. It's going to be incomplete to Booker. And there's a bunch of yellow out there, flags everywhere.
Brian, possibly a salesman in the future, doing a nice job trying to
I
sell
thought
that to the official.
I thought he caught it. I bought it right here.
He tried to sell it. And Coach Lloyd has
Coach Lloyd?
some advice for
Coach Lloyd is buying a hold of it. That's what he's doing. And he's right. You're right. You did catch it.
Coach Lloyd is gabbing with the line judge. He's waving the referee off. He's not very happy with that play right there.
David Polk, are you having a conversation down there?
Well, I'm just kind of listening, but what they called him for, there weren't 7 men on the line of scrimmage, and it was a very close play. I'm not really sure how the lineman could have seen whether he caught the ball or not because he rolled opposite the line judge down here. But nevertheless, we didn't have 7 men on the line of scrimmage, so it wasn't going to count anyway.
So that's going to bring up a fourth down play here for the Tigers after they get everything settled out. And again, the Tigers have been down to the 10, just inside the 10 a couple of different times here. And penalties have brought them back out now to the, 15-yard line, 16-yard line is where the ball's spotted. So it'll be fourth down and about 14 to go, let's call it, from the 16-yard line or 15-yard line. I'm going to get all that. Math is not my high subject, you know that. They can get a first down inside the 2 right here. Jimenez sets him down. Offset backfield behind him. Straight back to throw. He's got it across the middle. Jermaine Gresham being held right there. And the ball going to go sailing, and that is going to be incomplete. Tony Anderson, the defender right there for the Spartans.
Anderson had him by the hip pocket.
That's what I was going to say. I think he was like holding on to number 2 right there.
Jermaine better check his wallet. I don't know if he's got his wallet left.
Double A All-American Jermaine Gresham right there. Going to have to suffer through some of that this year.
kind of odd that the officials were so eager to pick up on the procedure penalty and other things, but the guy standing right in front of the play where he was being held keeps the flag in his pocket.
It's hard to see, you know, when they turn the number around. Like, here you go, it's Anderson right side. Oh, he runs right into the what would be the Ardmore defensive linebacker, Marquise Booker. you gotta know that hurts when you run into Marquise like that. So.
Booker and Booker on the stop.
41-0, 6 minutes to play here in the third. Spartans second down, 7 to go at the 19-yard line. Ruckner sets him down. And he will run it that away.
Somebody's got to come up.
That's what we're hearing.
That's the rumor.
That's what we're understanding.
One of the coaches wants them to come up. But the best thing can happen here for the Tigers is run this clock, get out of here. 41-0, all the points they need. They're going to get a lot of young players in the ballgame. Don't want to get anybody hurt. Go on the road the next 2 weeks. We're traveling, guys.
Ruckner hands it off to Anderson again on that little play to the right side this time as he hands it to him out of his motion. And he'll get enough probably for a first down right here up to the 29-yard line. They're going to move the chain, so it'll be first down for Southeast.
How many first downs did they have at halftime? Three.
Let's see, next week we go to John Marshall to take on the Bears.
Taft Stadium.
Yeah, Taft Stadium. Is that where they play?
That's the rumor.
We were talking about that the other day, and I couldn't remember.
I haven't, believe it or not, I've never called a game from Taft Stadium. That's got to be one of the few
You haven't missed
5A stadiums that we've not visited.
Alvin Palmer finally getting a little bit of speed on the corner right there and making some room, but he's drugged down from behind. Nice job defensively there for the Tigers as Jared Fields coming over. Also on the stop is going to be Jermaine Stubblefield.
During my days at News 9, I accompanied a few photographers to Taft Stadium to cover 6A football. You haven't missed much, Billy.
Brian Booker also in there on the stop that last play. And they'll hand it off to Anderson again, this time around the right end. He gets the corner there, cuts back up inside. Going to get the first down across the 40, up to about the 40. Spotted at the 46. A great second effort there by Anderson. Tony Anderson.
Tony is an elusive little guy. They've got some impressive backs. Alvin Palmer's a good-looking back also.
David told us at halftime that Tony has a little extra motivation. His father just returned from fighting in Iraq. So he's in the stands tonight watching his son play for the first time this year.
That's great. Oh, not any running room right there. They've got Alvin Palmer's number pretty much all night every time he touches the football. That way, Marquise Booker right there and Kevin Andrews.
Well, they shut the door on the right side. He tried to reverse his field goal the way, lost his footing, but he wouldn't have gotten much anyway.
Second down. Got a long way to go here, 15, 16 yards from the 40. They need to get to the 44 at the other end of the field.
Booker, and Andrews.
Booker, and Andrews.
Attorneys at law.
That's what it sounds like.
So that 5 yards will make it second down, and I want 21 now.
Who's after John Marshall?
Traveling
Chickasha?
still and going to
Chickasha.
Yeah.
On a Thursday night?
Thursday night Chickasha ball game. In motion again. This time Ruckner just going to keep it. Ooh!
Hello.
Escapes the first phase, but DeJuan Miles comes up the stud and puts the hat on him right there.
Ruckner's slow to get up.
Most would be after a hit like that.
He's going, number 30, how do you spell DeJuan? That hurts. He's like, I mean, is he okay?
Does he know what county he's in?
I don't know. I think they're taking him. No, that's not him that's going out. I thought they were taking him out right there. It is him that's out.
What?
No, that's him right there with the ball. Ruckner takes the long snap, and he's going to be all jammed up again. Good job defensively there. Tigers all up in there. Andy Mendoza back there. Kevin Andrews, the first man on the tackle there. Brian Booker. I'm telling you.
What do we have here, guys? Fourth and 32?
31, I think.
Fourth and away.
Yeah, 32.
Scoreboard guy just called it 30.
He couldn't count past 30.
Come on.
He's just going to round it off.
He used somebody else's toes and.
Rough estimate scoreboard.
Oh, they almost got the punt right there. Might have got a piece of it. He goes straight up in the air and then down at the 30. It's going to roll out of bounds at the 27-yard line. And that'll be a first down there for the Tigers now.
D'Angelo Stephanie was not happy. He thought he was roughed, and by all accounts, he was roughed.
Well, when they
Booker
touched the
came
football.
crashing into it. Did they call a tip on the football?
They
Oh,
touched
yeah.
the football,
Okay.
you bet.
Well, that
If it
would be
wasn't
why.
tipped, that's one of the worst punts you'll ever see in your life. I'll tell you that.
That's just
Somebody
one of those
tipped it.
deals. Yeah, they tipped it.
But he wasn't happy. He was giving the referee an earful of pleading his case that roughing the kicker should have been called, but it wasn't.
Well,
And Ardmore has first down at the 27. There's David.
Was he blocked into the kicker? Because if he was blocked into the kicker, they wouldn't have called roughing either.
No, I think they touched the football.
Okay.
The guy coming across was tipping his fingers. That's what that means.
There were too many big guys between me and the ball to see it. I'm sorry.
First down
Kind
now.
of like the broadcast booth, huh?
First and 10.
We can't see the game for the big
The
guys.
29-yard line. Jimenez.
Brandon can't.
Well, set him down to the right side, the fun bunch there, and Jimenez will hand it off right up the middle. That's Stubblefield. He keeps his legs moving. Nice run there. Going to pick him up about 3 yards, let's call it, as he gets up to the 25-yard line. So, nice run there for Jermaine Stubblefield. Jermaine runs hard every time he touches the football. It's just fun to watch him get off like that.
And here's your 2-minute warning for the third quarter, guys. We're under 2 minutes.
Is this the juncture where they start the running clock?
They may have already had it running.
I've been
this
worried
quarter.
about
This has
that.
been going pretty quick.
1:45 left to play here, and it's 9:25. We're not going to get to see Bob Berry, I'll tell you that. Low back in the backfield is Stubblefield. Jimenez underneath center with trips to the right. He'll pitch it to Jermaine, and Jermaine across the 20-yard line out into the 17-yard line there. He'd be tackled hard right there, but a nice run for him as he's going to pick up about 5 yards. It'll bring up third down and about 2.
Flag at the 31. Is that holding on Southeast? Is that what he just called?
No, that was a.
Hands to the face?
Turn David up.
That's going to be a personal foul or an unsportsmanlike. He did hit Lionel in the head, so they're
Okay.
going to mark 15 off at the end of the play.
So at the end of the play, so you're looking at half the distance to the goal from here?
Be about
Jermaine,
the 8-yard line.
We've not ever talked about Jermaine's blocking, but he had a great block downfield that time. That's why I was afraid they were going to call it on him, because he cleaned the clock of the guy that he was designed to block on.
Now we have a flag on the other side. They're probably going to get the coach on the other side maybe for a little bit of mouth. So we'll probably go half the distance, have it down to about the 4.5 or 5 yard line.
Now, is that the official penalty is mouth? Is that
We got a little mouth.
is that what they call it?
No, that's just the old official in me just
That's
telling you.
That's what they
telling
call it
you
in the
that-
official's handbook.
That's
isn't
what those zebras say in the huddle when
it? Yeah.
they're down there.
Yeah, I got him on a
I'm
mouth.
calling mouth on that
I got him
guy.
on
The,
mouth.
the official is coming to you and saying, guys, I got a mouth going over here, because he really doesn't want to tell you what was said on the sideline. So
We have to keep
that's
it
what
clean.
it's going to
don't
be. That's exactly right. This is the family hour on KICM 97.7.
we? There you go. Little end up looking to the zebra lingo.
Second down is going to turn into first down here at some point, and we're going to be, well, they spotted the ball at the 9-yard line, so we're going to be
Well, you know, the
right
referee,
at the 5.
They've still not marked off the penalty for the flag that's on the field right now.
I haven't. Have they given any indication of the penalty? No, here he comes. Maybe they did. I haven't seen him indicate a penalty other than the flag and the whistle.
I believe it was just the unsportsmanlike.
well, the wide hat tonight doing a great job, as you would expect. Robert Dalton been doing this for a long time.
Very professional. He's always got great crews with him too. That's what happens when you're the big man on campus.
And when you're up 41-0, he's an all-around good guy tonight.
Jimenez is going to set him down from the gun here. It'll be first and goal at the 5. 1:19 remaining in the third, and we've got whistles yet again. We're not going to play any football.
So much for bragging about the pace of the game there in the third.
I'm not sure what we got here. We just got
Is that a substitution?
we got too many men on the field. Well, they're sending one guy over to the sideline.
This is David Polk territory. I'm not wading in there.
What
on
are they
this.
doing? What in the world's going on, David?
Once again, I believe that there may have been 12 men on the field. He did throw a flag, but I think they're just going to send him off and play football.
Oh, that's nice of him.
Well, it is 41-0 with
Yeah,
a
it
minute
is,
19 in the third quarter.
And that's a great job right there.
And that'll be first and goal now from the, 3?
Yes.
Yes.
So the Tigers will break the huddle here. Keith Todd at the fullback. Stubblefield behind him. The Tigers are running a double tight look off. Oh, here we go. Wide receiver wide to the left. I was looking for him. Right side, that's Stubblefield. Touchdown, Tigers. And that comes with 1:15 to play here in the third quarter, and the Tigers go up 47-0. So not a lot of chance here for Southeast tonight, as the Tigers just smothered them early and just kept them down. Now they'll come on to kick the PAT here. Have we got a substitute kicker?
Yes, we do. Number 43,
Jesse Parker.
Jesse Parker.
The three-point specialist, Jesse Parker, on the kick, senior. Austin Williams remains the holder. Little high snap. Parker up. And it looks no good. It's a little flat right there. 47 another score here. 1:15 to go in the game. No, in the third quarter. That's wishful thinking. Tigers up 47-0. We're back after this. You're listening to Tiger Football 97.7 as Kick 'em Country. Sports Kick, and glad to have you along tonight. 1:15 to play, and they will line it up at the 40, kick it left to right here. They do have a different guy deep. Is that Alvin Palmer back there deep? I believe it is. First time that Palmer's been back deep on the second-hand sports kickoff.
Won't matter.
Kelby Price to kick here.
Not going to kick it to him.
I wouldn't think so. They kick it. Oh, they do. They kick it away. No, they kick it to the right side. There we go. Now we got some of that handoff maybe or maybe not, and the Tigers don't even let them get to that point. Trying to meet in the middle of the field, and the Tigers disrupt everything. Great job on the play there. Justin Fields, he's going to hit you, and it's going to feel like a 200-pounder instead of a 150-pounder.
All these Tigers pack a punch this year. We talked about this last week. Bill Allen filming in the stands last week said a lot of MacArthur fans were talking about how physical Ardmore was and how hard they'd hit you. And they've done it all year, and they've caused some turnovers tonight.
Doing a good job. They caused a bunch of turnovers last week, and doing a good job in that area of the football game. They send a man in motion. That's Anderson. They're going to hand you the football. He gets a little bit of a gap right there and goes a couple of yards, 3 yards maybe, before the Tigers apprehend him there, and that's going to be Brian Booker, the guy on the stop right there. Marquise also over there. You know what? We ought to just give Marquise the tackle every time, because like tonight, every time I catch somebody else in there, when they get up, he's on the bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
I mean, Marquise he's just an exceptional young man.
And in a rare case when he's not in on it, he turned him the other way and forced him into somebody else.
This time they give it to Palmer, and Alvin is in trouble there. Stephen Lee turns him back inside, and the Tigers pursued, helping out with that. And we get a little bit of hitting. Austin Williams in there on the tackle, and, well, they're more I'm telling you what.
Got a lot of new guys in there.
I want to leave
Stephen
Marquise
Lee,
off one time, but he just won't let you.
Stephen Lee and Montre Washington.
Bo Talley in there. Cameron Swindell was in there earlier.
So third down, 1 yard to go at the 34-yard line
That's the
for
end of the third.
Southeast, and that's the end of the third quarter. 47-0. Ardmore Tigers lead the Southeast Spartans, and the clock is going to put 12 more up there, and we'll do that when we return. You're listening to Tiger Football. They lead at 47-0 on 97.7 Kick 'em Country. As the Tigers have a 47-0 lead to start the fourth quarter of play, fourth and final quarter of play. And that time the Spartans going to move the chains.
Have not done that very consistently tonight. Very few first downs. A couple in the second half.
Chance Arnicher credited with the tackle on that particular play, and they'll run it right up the middle here as the Spartans, and pick them up about, 6 yards there.
Anthony Fuller coming into the ball game.
Defensive tackle Jesse Hernandez there for the Tigers. Second down and 5. 46-yard line. Ruckner going to hand it off to the left side. Not much running room right there. The Ardmore Tigers close quickly on that particular play. Robbie Gordon looks to be in there on the tackle. Check that. That's not Robbie Gordon. Tally.
Check that, he says.
Yeah, you're right, Bab. Right up the middle this time, the Spartans are going to get another first down as the clock mercifully ticks.
They're in their hurry-up offense, though.
Well, you gotta respect him for that.
Where does
Carrion Pelton in the ball game.
Where does Stu's crew sit when they're at home? That's what I want to know. They took up most of the center section over at Lott MacArthur.
It may be too cold to just be in T-shirts, so we can't spot them.
Well, they're going to throw the distance of the field right there. The intended receiver is Anderson. He gets a touch on it, but good defense by the Tigers. Back there with him, several of the Tigers. Kyle Craig had one of them. Is that right?
Nope.
That was Austin Williams.
Austin Williams 5, not 15.
Austin's had a good ball game. I mean, he had the touchdown he scored in reverse earlier. Tough catch in traffic, and then just used his backside. Looked like a basketball player creating space under the bucket there. Just backed his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Makes a fine defensive play right there. Little basketball analysis there.
Thank you. They're going to send it right up the middle this time, and he'll break outside. The runner is D'Angelo Stedney, the punter, and he's getting bigger yardage than they've had all night long and doing a good job there. Breaks outside, gets inside the 20 or 25-yard line, and that'll be a first down for the Southeast Spartans.
We're going to have to help the crowd with a little crowd noise there. It's getting a
dwindled.
little quiet.
I think a lot more people are sitting in their car right now waiting for us to give the final score than anything else. Also talked to Coach Lloyd after the ball game, and Bill Parker, New York Life, bring in the after talk with the coach. We've got a flag on the play.
I will guarantee you the parents are still in the stands, though, because a lot of young guys getting in the game. Good to see them get a chance to play. They work hard, just as hard as the starters do, and they get a chance to shine tonight in the fourth quarter.
47-0. The Ardmore Tigers lead it. 9:44 to go in the game, and Southeast moving the ball pretty well here. But stopped by a big penalty. That's going to back them up. And we'll bring up yet another first down play. It'll be 1st and 15 from here at the 30-yard line.
You know, things have become pretty bad when the cheerleaders have resorted to doing the chicken dance.
This time, not much running room there for
It
Anderson.
is Oktoberfest,
About
isn't
3
it?
yards, second or third. That's true.
Things tend to get a little hairy during October.
You didn't think I knew it, did you? Second down and 11. Let's call it 12. Long 11 to go. Rugner sets him down here. Motion man gets the handoff. Steps outside there. Stephen Lee's actually hooked there. Is that legal? And gets around him, and that'll give him a first down inside the 10.
Nice block on the Tiger defensive end out on the left side. Allowed him, Palmer, to get outside. Palmer's really quick.
Well, that's why I said, was that legal? It wasn't that nice of a block. He had his elbow behind him. Stephen had not much a chance.
Well, you guys just don't ever let up. You're still 47-0. You're still complaining. You sound like
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
some other fans that we recently played. We won't mention any names, though.
We don't play those
because they're nice folks.
We don't play those fans anymore. I know who you're talking.
Are you talking
Remember
about
baseball back in
Yes.
on the late 90s or whatever?
Yes,
that
I
was?
do.
Well, man, now there's some fans. They get right on you.
Still to be named later after the game.
Yeah.
Call Mike. He'll tell you who we're talking about.
But Ruckner underneath center. He'll hand it off up the middle. Nope, fakes it there and throws it across the middle, and that is going to be.
I thought it might be intercepted.
No,
but
it's knocked away there.
There's Austin Williams again, though. Always around the football.
Doing a good job tonight. Kenny Smith, the intended receiver, and the Tiger bunch down there to stop it. So 3rd down and
will they save?
goal at the 9.
Will they save the shutout? That is the question.
8:21 to play, and they have the ball 3rd and 9 at the 9-yard line. 3rd and goal at the 9, that is. And so we'll bring up a 4th down. What?
It's a couple of different ways to say it.
Well, I mean, you know.
You can choose option A or option B, whichever way you want. That was nice, though, Mike.
Brandon-
You give your listeners a chance to just pick their own play call.
Brandon's going to, like, yawn a couple of times, and that's going to be the end of me. There you go. 8 minutes.
4th and goal from the.
Ruckner.
We have here, Mike, the 5, 6.
Yeah, about the 5.5-yard line, probably. Oh, Ruckner looking to throw the. Oh, we all got tangled up back there, and the Ardmore defense stiffens. And the ball comes loose. Who's got it? Did they tackle the wrong guy? I got to see that on the
there's a
play.
penalty flag.
There's got to be a lineman downfield somewhere.
It's all going to come back. I don't think they had a 7 on the line of scrimmage. The linesman over here threw a flag right at the beginning of the play.
Was that a shuttle pass or a fumble?
He kind of pitched it back to the guy behind him because about to be tackled.
I thought David threw the flag. It's closest to him right there. It's like,
I thought he fumbled it.
No, he handed it back to the back in the backfield, and then he just decided to throw it to a guy in the end zone.
Handed it off to Stephanie. I mean,
Yeah, D'Angelo.
Ruckner was down. He had 4 or 5 tigers all over him. Taggers, I said.
Daggers.
It was like, here, you have it. I don't want it anymore.
This isn't any fun. 47-0. The Tigers lead it, and this will be a 4th down play. It's 4th and goal from the 9. Ruckner underneath center. Stepney looks to be calling timeout. He does. So timeout for the Southeast Spartans. 47-0. 7:36 remaining, and we're back to Noble Stadium for the final 7:36. Again, 47-0. The Tigers lead on Kick'em Country. Edward Ruckner calls for it from the gun. Oh, he's going to roll it around to himself a little bit right there and go for it on 4th down here. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that is going to be.
that's about the way it's
just
gone.
about the way it's going to look. Anthony Fuller there, the tackler for the Tigers. And the Tigers will take it over 1st down at the 9-yard line. I never have got that right. I think it's the 10-yard line, actually. But it was like 1st and goal from the 10 1/4 or something like that. So that can't possibly be. Maybe my eyes deceive me. 47-0. And,
Jordan,
I'm
Jordan Gary in at quarterback.
I'm really a big fan of that running clock, and that's what I was going to say until this happens, until a youngster like Jordan Gary gets some playing time. Been playing well in the JV games, and, going to get a chance next year to be part of this offense, big part of this offense. And it's good to see him getting some snaps. Offset backfield. Whoop. All tangled up right there. And that's pretty much caused by that defensive line right there. They just collapse everything inside. And the Tigers haven't got much room to run anything. So
They really didn't, Bob.
they really didn't. Okay. So you're going to be Merv Griffin for the Merv Griffin.
Merv Johnson.
Merv Johnson.
You had the wrong
Merv
Merv.
Griffin. He's got a lot more money than Coach Johnson does.
He really did, Bob.
He really did.
6:50 left in the game. Back
40
to the game.
47.
The second string Tiger offensive line just breathed a sigh of relief as Gerald McCoy headed to the sideline. They had to be a little scared of the big fella when they lined up there and saw him across from them.
Jordan Geary sets them down. The eye back look behind him. And he'll quick pitch it to the right side. And that's going to be all snookered right there.
One thing you really like, Spartans are really playing hard, though. They have
Singleton.
not thrown in the towel, and I know we say that a lot, but, it's one thing to say it, another thing to be out there and be on the wrong end of a very frustrating night.
Yep, because this is just one game. They'll be 0 and they'll be 1 and 2 in district now. They still have
Yeah,
a
they're
legitimate
1 and
shot at the
Sure.
playoffs, getting that 3rd or even 4th seed in the district and making it for the state playoffs. They still have plenty to play for, and they obviously have a lot of talent, a lot of good players at skill positions. That'll carry you a long way when you play teams like Capitol Hill and down teams like Duncan this year.
McCoy is back.
Uh-oh.
And he was involved in that play.
Man. They throw Jordan Gary back pretty
Jordan
hard
got
right
to
there.
meet Mr.
Oh,
McCoy,
Mr. McCoy.
face mask to face mask.
Don't hurt Jordan. He's got to mow my yard tomorrow. Jordan Gary, he's a great guy. He's been mowing my yard this summer because I'm really lazy, basically. But he's such a great kid. 47-0. And the Ardmore Tigers have this one put away. Dave was worried about getting back to the football game. I was going to say, what football game? We haven't really had one since half, have we?
Speaking of ball, in the bottom of the sixth inning, it's the Angels 6 and or 7 and the Yankees 6. So
Okay.
just
Better
thought
get-
you'd like to know.
Well, Coach Ross has been flashing us signals through the window here, but I think he's gone home now. So thank you so much for that report. What was the Lone Grove score? Lone Grove beating Cache tonight?
20-13 in the fourth quarter. Yes, Lone Grove's up.
And we have a Plainview score. It's 20-0 around the halftime break there. Plainview down by Sulphur's 20. And that's the only scores they've passed along to us tonight. Anyway. We have a timeout on the field. We'll keep it here. Talk about the Tigers' stats tonight and how many yards they got. At the end of the third quarter, the Tigers had 280-plus yards. But you have to think of all the short fields that the Tigers got early on. So.
Well, it's a game I think the Tigers would have won anyway, but I think it was way easier than we thought, even because of the start that the Spartans got off to. They fumbled their first two possessions, and Ardmore had short fields and were able to punch them both in and really took the wind out of their sails early. But again, Southeast is still playing hard, and they've got some real speed out on the field, and their defensive lineman, there is a reason why he's the #1 recruit. I promise you.
4 minutes, 53 seconds to play.
Craig heads into punt.
Thanks, Coach. He gets the punt out of the back of his end zone right here. Nice snap. Kyle gets a foot into it. Boy, a big rush on him. We got a flag on the play. And a nice job on the punt as it's going to roll to a stop around the 32-yard line.
Welcome to varsity football, Kyle. Punt from the shadow of your own goalpost with the full blitz on your face.
That was McCoy that got him.
Gosh.
He'll take that film home with him. Look what
Hey,
happened to me.
Kyle did a good job just getting the ball out of
You
there
bet.
because there were about 3 white jerseys in there.
You can tell his grandkids one day he was smacked by the #1 recruit in the state.
And in some articles, #1 recruit in the country.
Well, if he ends up like we compared him to Jamal Brown earlier, and Jamal's doing pretty good with the Saints right now, so he may be playing on Sundays.
Man, they praise him too a lot. I mean, they were on, I can't remember if it was ABC or Fox the other day, and that's all they talked about. Young guy making waves in the NFL. Jamal, we've got a chance to catch up with Jamal several times in his lifetime, So.
They're going to put Craighead on the very back of the end zone. They're going to make him punt again.
Illegal motion against the Tigers. So.
My poor cousin, Kyle, is one of my youngest cousins, and he is having a baptism by fire here.
Cousin Kyle's going to get the kick from the pylon at the back.
They're going to bring
end zone.
Stephen Lee in and save Kyle from the – there's some moans from the peanut gallery.
That's okay, Kyle. You did your job, man. I mean, you punted it away
No
well.
kidding.
Boy, he is in the shadow of his
Stephen
goalpost.
Lee is very close to his own end zone line right
just
there.
taking a
He's
safety.
taking a safety.
You got to admire that. They didn't put Kyle in there to do that. They put Stephen Lee back in to do that. I got to like that.
I like that. Let the senior get in there and do that. Stephen Lee, a team leader, plays it tight end. The
47-2.
Kyle will have his chance later on to give another team 2 points. 47-2, the final. I want it to be the final score so bad. I've been saying that twice here. 4:38 to go in the ball game, so we still have some football to play. Even though most people are here out of honesty, just watching their favorite player play at this juncture, and some guys who don't get to play a lot, so it's fun to kind of watch that happen. If you think about all the minutes that these youngsters have had this year with the Tigers, I mean, it's tremendous. Lawton MacArthur's the only game that just about everybody didn't get to play in. I mean,
That's true.
so
And think of, in previous years, guys that have come in and played late in the game like this that end up really helping the program in a year or two. You come in and they kind of catch your eye. I remember Roy Roberts. Remember, he comes in the first time he touches the ball, goes 80 yards for a touchdown. You think, he might be pretty
he's going to
good.
be good at this.
And ends up he was. What about that?
I remember seeing him in a scrimmage his freshman year, and they pitched the ball to him, and he reverses field completely and scores from about 50. And I thought, hey, he's going to be pretty good. And then we get to see him all through high school do the same kind of activity. So it's fun to watch these young guys come out. Uh-oh. Is this Franco Guadarrama? Now, he told me how to say his name, but I can't. Can you roll your tongue like that?
Franco. His name is Franco.
Guadarrama. I want to say Guadarrama. I hope that's close, Franco. The kick is going to be a short one, a high kick down to about the 42-yard line right there. And Rod Smith does the everybody's safe and falls on the football.
I came with you, Mike, out here to get the player, their introductions. They said their names for the starting lineups. And you asked him how to pronounce his name, and you said Guadarrama or whatever. He goes, that's okay for you.
That's okay for you.
Like, in other words, that's about the best you're going to get.
You stupid American.
And Mike said, well, how would you say it? And he did the tongue roll. And so Mike said, I can't do that.
That's right.
Nothing like smack talk from a high school
That's
kid.
what I
I
told him.
know.
I said, okay, Franco.
Really puts you in your place.
But Franco doing a good job right there on the kick. Guadarrama. 1st and 10. Southeast going to get it. Ruckner going to give it off to his favorite running back there, Alvin Palmer. Palmer going to get the corner over there, and he'll slide around it across the 50 down to the 45. He's punched out of bounds at the 43-yard line, and that's where the Ardmore Tigers will have to hold them off again because just not too long ago they were in Tiger territory.
Right. So our travels next week take us to John Marshall, correct?
The John Marshall Bears. Another district foe for the Ardmore Tigers next week.
And the Chickasha is on the
A
horizon.
new district foe.
Right.
Don't know much about the Bears.
John
Played them
Marshall's
in
been-
basketball a few times, though, hadn't we?
They've been very good in basketball, not so in football. I can remember a time when John Marshall's Bears were really good in football.
Won the
I
state
can too.
championship in
That's right.
96 or 7.
That's right, not too long ago, really. Ruckner takes it to the right side, and he'll turn it up. Stomp shy of the first down marker at the 40-yard line. Nice job there defensively. Let's get some of these guys. Bo Talley in there with the tackleization that time. Also number 13 on the tackle, Anthony Fuller. Are we getting close?
I saw a 66 hit on the field. He's not on my roster.
That's Hunter Reed.
Mike keeps a good roster. He won't let us have a good one.
No, I mean, it's
He likes to make us look bad.
we got a new roster up here somewhere, too.
Martin Maytubby on that tackle. Kelby Price.
Kelby Price also in there. Pretty physical for a kicker.
Yeah.
3rd down and 3 now for the Spartans.
Most kickers can't get in there and mix it up like that. We've seen what happens with the Grammatica brothers when they get excited. They blow out their knees. So nice to see Kelby Price get in there and make a good tackle.
Underneath center again is Edward Ruckner. Eddie back to throw. And he's throwing it all the way down the field. It's going to be knocked away there. Great defensive effort by the Ardmore Tigers, running stride for stride there. I'm not sure who the intended receiver right there. I believe that's Tony Anderson.
Montre Washington with the good defensive play, though.
Montre.
We've got
Doing a good job.
Spartan down on the field, down there on the goal line.
A lot of legs and stuff tangled up as they come down. Austin Williams also down there on the defensive effort for the Tigers.
Austin's had a pretty good ball game.
He has.
Yeah, he's had a good night tonight.
Caught a touchdown, made a couple defensive plays.
4th down and 3.
Tigers had that one covered up, too. That was good coverage.
3 minutes and 12 seconds to go. And the Tigers go to 6-0 in the season.
3-0 in the district.
3-0 in district play.
Maybe number 1 in the Daily Oklahoman poll.
That's okay. If we're number 10, it'll be better because everybody will forget about us.
Well,
I think the word's out, David.
yeah, I do, too. I think people across the state know.
I think it's already time, David, for the coaches to say, yeah, we'll bring you a tape of our last game. And, of course, it won't be us.
The humorous thing is you were talking earlier about those guys at the Oklahoman and whether they had any education or not. And you didn't
No, I
have
didn't say that. I said you got to go to college to do
Oh
that.
yeah,
That's all I
yeah.
said.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's right. But then I just got to think about Andrew Gilman, and I'm thinking,
Very educated young man.
well,
Is he?
Very bright.
is he? I mean, he hasn't figured out how good Ardmore is yet, and I haven't seen him in Ardmore yet because he's too busy covering other teams in the state to pay
That's true.
attention to us.
Well, and a lot of those guys don't know if football's played below the 6A level, and they don't get out and cover the smaller 5A schools like we are.
Well, I had an official that's officiated one of our games say to me just last week that he thought that the Tigers were good enough to play with just almost everyone in 6A, and he's called 6A games this year, and That's a tall order.
Toby Rowland of News 9 lists us as the #1 team in the power poll. That's all classes.
Ruckner 4th down and a few, and
Ooh, look at that.
has a man open and gets a shot to him right there on the pass. Alvin Palmer going to catch it. That's enough for another first down as the clock ticks at 3:01.
I'm telling you, Alvin Palmer is he's an exciting guy.
Scat back deluxe.
They didn't even stop the clock to. I thought it was out of bounds over there.
Different game situation where they didn't get themselves in a hole so early. It'd be interesting to see these two teams play without all the mistakes in the first half. I still think the Tigers would win, but Spartans are pretty good.
47-2 the score right now. Southeast trying to get it in. Oh, this time it's going to be intercepted right there. And a good job stepping in front of the football is Mr. Pelton. And is that who intercepted that?
Was that
no, that's
Cameron
Swindle. Yeah, Swindle.
Ball was a little low to him. He went down on a knee, made sure he made the catch. And now Ardmore's got the ball back at their own 5-yard line.
2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. It is now stopped at that. 47-2 the score. The Tigers with the big lead.
As the band serenades us with "Hey Ya."
Need to get them up in the booth next time.
Yeah, there's room for him in here.
Yeah, we can fit a few more people in.
Hey, they're busy tomorrow, right? They're having a competition right
here. Yeah. Noble Stadium will be all brassed up tomorrow, if you will. Jordan hands it off, and this time it's going to go for a few yards across the 20. Nice carry on the play there. Jordan Gary hands it off up the middle, and breaking outside there is going to be Singleton doing a good job. Andre Singleton getting a lot of yardage out of that right there.
Had a big hole to run through the left side of the Ardmore line. Really opened up some space for him. And if he hadn't had his feet tangled up there at about the 10, he could have made quite a big of yards.
Hey, hand me that roster over there, Billy, because there's a 25 on it that I need to find out who that is.
You get a free radio with every roster there.
Is it Marquise Harris?
We've got a number of about 3 new guys. It is Marquise Harris. Thank you so much.
Keith Martin also in the ball game. Chance Arnicia, we mentioned that earlier.
Well, what do we get stoppage for now?
I've got some scores coming in. I've got to get them in the right order here, guys. Getting a text. Mike Strawn keeping me informed from home. Looks like Carl Albert over El Reno 31-14. Lawton MacArthur all over Chickasha 42-6.
Oh, goodness.
So Lawton MacArthur a little steamed after
I believe
last
the Tigers
weekend,
made him mad, yeah.
Got Booker T over Coweta 14-7. Altus 14, Duncan nothing. I don't know if those are finals or not, but thanks to Mike Strawn for buzzing those in to me. I hope that's in the proper order, but I believe that's the sequence there.
Had 12 men on the field on that last play.
Well, they were counting him 2 or 3 times, so. Jordan Gary underneath center, I-backs behind him. Jordan takes the,
Little motion.
Well, we're never going to get this thing done. Flags everywhere.
The humorous thing about the count is the guy counts to 11, and he counts to 11, and he counts to 11, and finally he goes, 12, and he turns around and walks off the field over there.
Okay. That's the way that works sometimes.
That's what happened.
Micah Quarry, Justin McGee, and Victor Fields in the ballgame. How many Fields do we have on this team? 3?
3 that we know of. Justin, Jared, and Victor. What's your vector, Victor? 103 to go.
That'll get you a phone
You have
call.
a lot of weird knowledge in your
Victor
brain.
Fields is out to the left. Yes, I do. I-backs behind Jordan Gary again. But I'll tell you, that defensive line is just going crazy on them right now. Hard to get any play off.
40 seconds, boys.
These guys are learning the old-fashioned way. They're earning it here.
Great Tiger
The
effort came out not flat after the big win last week, which is really a big win now. You see what MacArthur's doing to Chickasha.
Cody Keaton coming into the ball game there. Justin McGee coming out.
A great job by the Whitehead there, Robert Dalton. He waited until there was 24 seconds on the clock to set the game clock, so there shouldn't be another play.
Jordan Gary comes into the huddle here, 9 seconds on the clock.
That will be it. That's going to be it. They're not going to get this play off.
Well, we're going to have to talk about the Carter County Dodge 5-star dealer star of the game. We've got that to talk about. Bill Parker, New York Life, is bringing us the after talk with Coach Mike Lloyd. The Ardmore Tigers have won it. The final score tonight, 47 Tigers, 2 for the Southeast Spartans. The Tigers go to 6-0 on the season, 3-0 in district play. And we're back here to Noble Stadium to wrap this thing up. Stick around here for a little bit. 47-2 the final score, and we're back. More Tiger football. It's on 97.7 Kick'em Country. The Ardmore victory, 47-2, the final score here tonight. The Ardmore Tigers ramp it up with Southeast. And the Spartans coming in worrisome and a lot of problems, problematic things offensively, defensively. And when it's all said and done, the Tigers win at 47-2. And Tigers really, after last week, you're kind of looking for what's going on. I mean, you're looking for a team that's going to compete. And that's a good place to be in Class 5A this year, I think, for the Ardmore Tigers. Now, we looked at the Carter County Dodge Player of the Game, and we've decided that we're going to – Coach is down there helping us out. Hey, we decided that we're going to give the Carter County Dodge Player of the Game to the Austin Williams offensively, and then we're going to give it to Marquise Booker defensively. Talk to us, David.
Hey guys, I'm down here with Marquise Booker and Austin Williams, and guys, we kind of decided we were going to have an offensive player of the game and a defensive player of the game. Marquise, I talked to you first. You got a chance to put some hats on people tonight. I know you're not feeling really all that good, but it was a good night for you, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was fun. We got to come out and hit, play hard, and get the job done.
That was a lot of fun seeing it. I know we talked a lot tonight about the Booker bookends, and you guys were on some some tackles tonight several times together, and a lot of things to look at tonight with McCoy out there and some of the things that were going on in the team. But you guys hooked it up on defense and did some good things.
Yeah, we just came out and played hard. We got to do it every game, and we can't take no snaps off, can't take no games off. So we just play hard.
No doubt. And Austin Williams, we've talked about you a lot this year, special teams and getting some snaps that have kind of been high and getting them down. But tonight, offensively, you caught a pass across the middle and you went and scored for us. It was a lot of fun, huh?
Yeah, it was good. I got to thank Jermaine because he brought 2 or 3 guys with him, so I got to thank Jermaine. But, yeah, it was a good throw by Lionel, too. It's fun. I'm glad we came out here and took care of business.
Well, he kind of cleared out for you, and Lionel did see it and got a pass across the middle to you, and then you got a chance to go put it in the end zone, and that had to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great. I thought I was already in, and then I turned around. I wasn't there yet, so I had to keep going. So.
Well, you did bulldog the guy just a little bit. We talked about the fact that you were almost like a center in a basketball game, kind of just pushing him back into the end zone. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, thanks. Congratulations, guys. And next week we go to John Marshall at Taft Stadium. You guys have never played at Taft Stadium, so that's going to be a pretty interesting thing for you there. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
All right, there you go, the Carter County Dodge Stars of the Game, the 5-star dealer in Ardmore. Carter County Dodge bringing the star of the game tonight. We could have given 22 of those away probably this evening because certainly had some great effort tonight. David, thank you.
Yes, we did. And Coach Lloyd is doing Channel 12. I'm not sure he's going to be with us tonight. So if
he is going to be with us tonight.
Okay.
We'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll get him because Bill Parker New York Life says we'll get him every Friday night, and we'll do that after this time out on Kick'em Country. Stadium. The Ardmore Tigers doing a great job tonight, 47-2 the final score. And Bill Parker New York Life lets us talk with the head coach of the Ardmore Tigers each and every evening, Mike Lloyd, with David Polk on the sideline.
And I am down here with Coach Mike Lloyd. Coach, 47-2 tonight. A great game for the Tigers. They did everything they needed to do.
Well, it's really a good team we played, and we played outstanding, especially defensively, but we executed really well on both sides of the ball. I thought Jimenez was really sharp, made some great reads. But, again, I thought our offensive line did a tremendous job, especially on the big 97. I don't think he was a factor. But anytime you can shut out guys like that, they got one of the fastest teams in the state and hold them to – well, we gave them 2, actually. You got to be pleased with that. I thought our kids played outstanding.
Well, they shot themselves a foot in a lot tonight just with fumbles and things, but you got to think that the team that we have on the field with them had a lot to do with that.
Well, you know, the speed of our front 6, front 7 had a lot to do with that. And, you know, they played well. We got off the football, and, you know, we caused some fumbles. I mean, they're turnovers, but it's because some of the things we were doing up front, and we were dominating them with our defensive line, our 2 inside linebackers, Miles and Booker. And, you know, if there's 2 better defensive ends than Brian Booker and Kevin Andrews out there, I'd like to see them. But, you know, we caused a lot of that just with our speed and our quickness and our determination on defense. So, I mean, yeah, they turned it over, but we also came out after we got the turnover and took advantage of the turnovers. And anytime you do that, you got a chance to be pretty good. And our kids did a good job.
Well, when you talk about the Bookers and Andrews, we talked earlier tonight about the fact that you could start filling an all-state team really well with the seniors we have on this team and the depth that we have across the board. It should help us deep into the season when we get to the playoffs.
Well, it should. I mean, we've got some outstanding athletes, but the number one thing about these kids, they put team first. And anytime you do that, you and I've talked about it for years, you know, that's all they talk about. You can see it doesn't matter who scores a touchdown. We've got 5 or 6 guys congratulating them. And, you know, it's total team effort, and they're fun to be around every day. They're fun to coach, and you can kind of witness that out here.
Thanks, Coach Mike Lowe. We appreciate it. Again, 6-0, the Ardmore Tigers. And Brandon Martin, you'll have to tell me what our average score per game is now. As we put 47 points on the board, it's getting to be a lot more fun.
Appreciate you putting me on the spot
Yeah,
there.
like,
Give me a couple of minutes, and I will.
He's got a calculator right here. He ought to be able to do it pretty quick. Hey, the Mike Lloyd postgame show always brought to you by Bill Parker, New York Life, and we appreciate him doing that. Real quickly, while Brandon's doing the cipher in there, Jethro, we'll get you in on the scoring summary real quickly for the Ardmore Tigers. Tonight, DeJuan Miles was the first player to score here this evening. That was with 10:19 remaining in the first quarter. How quickly they got on the board after a fumble. 4 plays, 20 yards. They're in the end zone. Kelby kicks the ball through. Kelby Price makes it 7-0 at that juncture. 8:42, the Ardmore Tigers. Brian Booker catches an 8-yard pass across the middle from Lionel Jimenez, and this time the kick fails. 13-0 at that juncture. 8:42, and that's after yet another turnover from the Spartans. 1:05 remaining in the first quarter, and Lionel Jimenez ducks it up for a 4-yard run. He gets the kick from Kelby Price to make it 20-0 at the 1 minute and 5 second mark of the first quarter. It was the second quarter when Austin Williams, our star of the game tonight, one of the stars of the game, catches a 20-yard pass and roughs himself up into the end zone from 2 yards away. Lionel Jimenez throwing it, and again, Kelby Price good with the kick, 27-0. 4 plays, 22 yards, and a 114 drive there for the Tigers. Keith Todd, that is, 7-yard run, and then Kelby Price kicks it through the uprights. That makes it 34-0 with 6:57 to go in the second quarter. 3:29 to go in the half. Ellis Knight comes into the ball game, gets a little 2-yard run after about a 34-yard run, and a 3-play, 47-yard drive turns it to 41-0 after Kelby kicks it through the uprights. It was the Jermaine Stubblefield in the third period with 1:15 remaining that scored the next time for the Tigers, a 2-yard run. After the kick failed, it was 47-0 at that mark, and then 47-2 as they took the snap of the punt for the punt out of the back of the end zone. Stephen Lee doing that, and the final score tonight again, Ardmore Tigers 47, Southeast Spartans 2. And that pretty much says it all. 293 total yards of offense tonight. Individually tonight for the Tigers, Ellis Knight had 44 yards on a couple of carries. Jimmy Colbert, 36 yards on 12 carries. Dante Miller, 31-yard jaunt, and that pretty much says it there. Receiving for the Tigers tonight, Brian Booker, the big man, he had 40 yards on 3 catches tonight. Dante Miller, 36 yards on 3 catches. Big Jermaine Gresham, the big one, AA, All-American, had 12 yards on 3 catches tonight. But as the Austin Williams told you, he said it pretty eloquently right there, Jermaine clears the way out a lot. So congratulations again, the Ardmore Tigers, final score 47-2. You guys going to help me wrap this up? Or?
I think you just did.
Okay.
I think you've taken
Well, I
care
was
of
just
it.
waiting for somebody to jump in there.
I think you covered it well.
You want to jump in, Brandon?
No.
Okay.
Oh, well, David wanted to know our average score. We were averaging 42 points a game on offense and giving up just over 8 on defense.
Not bad.
Got to straighten up that 8. No, just kidding. Again, from Noble Stadium tonight, we appreciate you for listening. Also, I don't do this every week, and I used to could when I was a kid. Remember to thank the guy back there doing all the hard work, and that's Terry Riddle. We appreciate his effort tonight back at the studios of Kickham Country at 97.7. Again, that's going to do it from Noble Stadium. We'll see you from Taft Stadium next Friday night. John Marshall's Bears and the Ardmore Tigers are going to hook up, and the district games, the district hits just keep on coming for the Tigers. They're 6-0. For Billy Wallace, Brendan Martin, and David Polk, I'm Mike Lear. Good night.